never guess the places that I've been. You never guess the places that I've been. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. I'm never gonna let the day begin. Never gonna let the day begin. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. Oh, don't wake me up before you go, and I'll just make this bed my home. Oh, darling, please just let me sleep. Give me my dreams. Better from above. Nothing's ever as it seems, yeah, except in that world that I dream of. Never gonna lose the ones I love. Never gonna lose the ones I love. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that world that I dream of. Oh, don't wake me up before you go, 'cause I can't face this day alone. Oh, darling, please just let me sleep. Give me my dreams. Give me my dreams. Give me my dreams.
USA News, I'm Dave Collins. Earlier this evening, President Biden spoke to the nation about how America should support Israel after the attacks from Hamas and continue to support Ukraine.
I'm going to send to Congress an urgent budget request to fund America's national security needs, to support our critical partners, including Israel and Ukraine. Help us keep American troops out of harm's way. Help us build a world that is safer, more peaceful, more prosperous for our children and grandchildren.
The conflict between Israel and Hamas has claimed more American lives. The State Department said 32 Americans have been confirmed dead and another 11 are unaccounted for. The Federal Reserve Chief contends that inflation remains excessively high, suggesting that a decrease in economic growth may be necessary to alleviate it.
These shorter-term measures are often volatile, and in any case, inflation is still too high, and a few months of good data are only the beginning of what it will take to build confidence that inflation is moving down sustainably toward our goal.
Jerome Powell expressed uncertainty regarding the duration of these reduced readings and where inflation might stabilize in the upcoming months. He hinted at a potential requirement for a slowdown in the labor market and economic expansion to attain the Fed's target of achieving a 2% inflation rate. Walmart and Aldi are reducing prices on Thanksgiving foods this year. Walmart's CEO stated they are working to offset inflation by lowering prices on various food items, building on previous investments. Aldi is also cutting prices on over 70 holiday food products with potential reductions of up to 50%, and both retailers plan to maintain these lower prices until the end of the year. Burt Young, he played Paulie in the Rocky films. He passed away recently. He was 83 years old. This is USA News.
Right now, you can eliminate odors, mold, mildew, bacteria, and viruses in your home with the Eden Pure Thunderstorm Air Purifier. The Eden Pure Thunderstorm uses Oxy technology that naturally sends out O3 molecules that seek out and destroy odors. The Thunderstorm doesn't mask or cover up bad smells, it eliminates them, leaving that fresh, clean smell, just like after a thunderstorm. The Thunderstorm is small, plugs right into the wall, and fits in the palm of your hand. Put one in your basement, bedroom, family room, kitchen, or anywhere you want clean, fresh air. It even includes a USB cord for your car or truck. Right now, save $200 on an Eden Pure Thunderstorm 3-pack for whole home protection. That's 3 units for under $200, a fraction of the cost compared to other air purifiers. Go to EdenPureDeals.com and use discount code USA3 to save $200. That's EdenPureDeals.com. Use USA and the number 3. Shipping is free.
Walmart and Aldi are reducing prices on Thanksgiving food this year. Walmart CEO stated they're working to offset inflation by lowering prices on various food items, building on previous investments. Aldi is also cutting prices on over 70 holiday food products with potential reductions of up to 50%. Both retailers plan to maintain these lower prices until the end of the year. As the United Auto Workers strike enters its 35th day, Ford Motor Company has laid off more workers. The automaker says an additional 150 workers have been temporarily furloughed. Negotiations with the big three automakers shows limited progress. Meanwhile, supplies of several highly sought-after vehicle models are beginning to dwindle as the strike persists. A Montgomery County police sergeant remains at shock trauma after he was intentionally struck by a vehicle on I-270 in Gaithersburg, Maryland yesterday. Police Chief Marcus Jones says officers at the scene provided life-saving efforts to Sergeant Patrick Kapp.
We have been told that without those efforts by members of the emergency medical teams, that they don't believe that Sergeant Kapp would have survived his injuries.
Chief Jones says Sergeant Kapp is in critical condition and has lost the use of both of his legs. Police were trying to stop a suspected drunk driver. Sergeant Kapp was struck as he was deploying stop sticks. Dave Collins, USA News.
Omaha Steaks Burger Perfection Flight, made from single cuts of real aged Omaha steaks, rewrites the book on burgers. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use promo code TREAT at checkout for an extra $20 off your order, plus free shipping when you order the $79.99 Burger Perfection Flight. A fantastic array of pure ground steak on a bun burger greatness. For $20 off the Burger Perfection Flight, use promo code TREAT at checkout at omahasteaks.com and discover your new burger obsession. Minimum order may be required.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
stiction.
Found throughout the oil system, stiction is the sticky friction that negatively impacts your engine's ability to function at an optimal level. The molecular structure of oil is a hydrocarbon. The engine's extreme heat, tight tolerances, and high pressure cause the oil to break down and release hydrogen, leaving behind varnish, a carbon-based deposit. The varnish clings to the engine's moving parts, creating drag on the turbocharger, oil pump, and pistons. Symptoms of stiction include a rough idle and the loss of fuel economy and performance. Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator delivers a 98% clean rating in third-party scrub tests. Its synthetic cleaner plus nano lubricant contains no harmful solvents and is formulated to be left in the engine to safely dissolve stiction for thousands of miles. It works as you drive.
Stiction Eliminator is available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
My, would you looky there? Anybody ready for Friday? As we close out Friday Eve, and yes, we cross over the midnight hour in the Eastern Time Zone, welcome in. As indeed, Friday's upon us, 20th day of October. I'm just thinking, look at the calendars. It's almost Halloween. Are you kidding me? So I trust you've had a good week. I know for those who get a weekend, looking forward to the weekend. We'll break it down. What's on tap? Lots on tap coming up. All right, it is the Steve Summers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Gold Eagle Studios. Another cloudy night in southwest Ohio, outside the secret bunker. We've actually warmed up a few degrees, though. 56 at this hour. Not too bad, not too shabby for the 20th of October. Came across a story from the archives yesterday. As I mentioned, Halloween just around the corner. You never know. It could be 60 degrees on Halloween in this part of the country. It could be snowing. Yeah, we actually had a Halloween 1993. 6 inches of snow had fallen that day. Remember when the kids were trick-or-treating in the snow? What will 2023 hold for us? Who knows? One thing I do know is we're going to be talking some big-time changes coming our way out west. We've got all the latest on our eastern seaboard storm. The storm that's going to be reborn on the East Coast. Now, they've been talking about it all week long. Weekend's almost here. So they should have pretty fine-tuned the forecast by this point in time. But we'll delve into that here in a bit. Let's start for our friends out west, where a good Friday evening to you. The headline from AccuWeather, a shocking change in the weather for the western U.S. as the recent record warmth will be replaced by much cooler conditions and even some early season snow. Not supposed to say that 4-letter word. The big flip in the weather pattern driven by a strong cold front will end the heat wave, where we've actually been talking record-smashing triple-digit heat in parts of the Southwest. That's going to be replaced with temperatures several degrees below average for this time of year. A downward trend as much as 25 degrees in daytime highs over the course of less than a week. And, of course, some storminess accompanying the cool down could even lead to the season's first widespread accumulating snow for parts of the interior west, especially in the northern Rockies. So the relief is ahead. Much of the region, especially the Southwest, still enduring a few more days of very warm conditions. That means more record-challenging heat into the early part of the weekend. Phoenix, you've been on a run of days of at least 100 degrees. That's going to continue for your Friday as well as Saturday. Earlier this week, we saw 105 degrees on Monday, new records. Could see another daily record here for your Friday. That would be 103 degrees. For the playoff games, baseball being played between Arizona and Philadelphia in Phoenix. Now, Thursday's game is in the books. And the Diamondbacks bouncing back against the Phillies after being down 2 games to none. Diamondbacks just won that game 2-1. So, again, playing in the heat out west there. Of course, the roof will likely be closed at Chase Field because of those triple-digit temperatures outdoors, thankfully. Next game is coming up here Friday. And then, of course, it looks like we'll definitely need a Saturday game. The scorching heat will not be limited to just the deserts. Downtown L.A. pushing 90 degrees. Again, for your Friday. Temperatures in the Central Valley, California, could reach well into the 80s, maybe even lower 90s, again, for your Friday. But look ahead. The first signs of the big drop in temperatures arrives in the Northwest and Northern California starting early on your Friday, then sweeps across the rest of the interior West and Southwest over the weekend and into next week. Temperatures start to come down today as the high pressure in the upper levels of the atmosphere begins to break down. Most notably along the coast, you'll see the wind shifting to come in off the chilly ocean waters. Now, Seattle, you had a record high temperature, 71 degrees on Wednesday. Yeah, by later today, you'll maybe top out close to 60 at best. All right, the drop in temperature delayed but not denied in the Southwest, in Las Vegas. Near record highs, low to mid-90s will continue through Saturday. That'll be replaced by 80s on Sunday, 70s on Monday. Now, later in the week, San Diego will experience maybe the coolest day of the season so far. For a few days next week, even, temperatures may not even get above the mid to upper 60s. Lowest high temperatures you've seen probably since back in mid-June. Now, as is basically the case this time of year, when this cool air sweeps across the west, forecasters expect some snow, and that will be the case from Sunday into next week. And we will be talking accumulating in some areas, mainly the higher elevations. It's possible the high plains of Montana, the hills in western Dakotas could see some snow as well. This storm coming ashore may bring some snow to the highest elevations of the Oregon Cascades on Sunday. By Monday, despite little moisture to work with, freezing levels will fall in the Sierra Nevada and the Southern California mountains below 8,000 feet, possibly leading to some snow. Accumulations may be a few inches at most in the California mountains, which would be a mere drop in the bucket compared to what the typical snow season brings there. But it still will be noteworthy since it could be the biggest snow of the season so far. Could see some slippery roads to start the new week next week. We'll watch for additional waves of snow in the northern Rockies throughout next week. Could bring additional accumulations to the higher elevations. As we look toward Monday, the mountains of Idaho, Montana, Wyoming could have a period of accumulating snow, including at Yellowstone National Park, while the lower elevations, you'll just deal with a very chilly rainfall. They're looking ahead for later next week, toward midweek. Looks like maybe a more widespread accumulating snow event may unfold, impacting even some of the larger cities, Billings, Great Falls, Helena, Montana. Where exactly and how much snow, uncertain at this time, but if snow were to fall and accumulate, it would be the first snow for the new season here. All right. As we mentioned, we'll get to our eastern seaboard. We'll move from the west coast to the east coast as we get the latest on what's anticipated to develop into a good old nor'easter. Who will see the heaviest rains there in the Northeast this weekend? They've been talking about New York City. This would be weekend number 7 consecutively of having rain either Saturday or Sunday or maybe both days. Washout weekends. You just can't catch a break. And a good, enjoyable weekend to get outdoors there in the Northeast. All right. We also had game number 4 in the American League Championship Series. The Battle of Texas, as the Rangers, they had jumped out to a 2-0 lead there. Well, that's now been reversed. The Astros come back, winning their second consecutive game. 10-3 was the final this past day. That series is now tied at 2 games apiece. So again, I think we'll have both action on both sides, National League and American League, again, taking place here on Friday. So hope your team wins, right? May the best team win. Rock Pick on board out of the box. Hello, Steve, truckers, third shift workers, and those wise old night owls. Right now, Rochester International Airport, kind of an overcast 59. Now that the school season's back up and running, I got to get up early to get the grandbaby on the school bus. So it's rare that I'm here to say hello, but happy Friday, all you hard-working Americans. Have a great weekend if you got one. It's good to be riding along with the overnight drive. Everybody stay safe. Enjoy. All right, Gilligan checks in. Hello, Steve, fellow listeners. A cloudy night, but it's dry. Natural Bridge, Virginia. We're hanging in at 60 degrees. Everybody keep it shiny side up. John on board once again. Hello, Steve and Stevettes. Godspeed to you and your listeners. God bless the United States of America and the nation of Israel. All right, the tour continues. Hello, Kentucky Ken. Good morning, overnight drive crew. Mr. Summers loading up. We'll be rolling out here in the near future. Safe travels. Kentucky Ken is listening in. 5-7, copy the mail. All right. Hello, Dipsy Driver. Morning, Steve, the most informed audience. It's kind of a cool night. Rain, Stockbridge, mid-Michigan, 53 at this hour. Keeping the theme of Casual Friday with Scarecrow. We all know that Albert Einstein was a genius, but did you know his brother, Frank, was a monster? Everybody, please stay safe out there, especially if you're out on the roads delivering our products that keep America moving, and for those patrolling our streets to keep us all safe out there. Thank you, Dipsy driver. A monster. Hello, Miss Millie. How we doing there? Hello, Steve, and the listeners. 56, rainy night here in my area of the Bluegrass. Everybody stay safe, be blessed. Have a great weekend. It'll be lights out for me. It's been a rather tiring day at the ER, but I'm back home now. All right. Hope everything's going okay there, Miss Millie. Kevin is on board. Hello, Steve, and the Overnight Drive crew. Michigan Madman, welcome into a Friday. Hello, Norman checks in from north central Kansas. The Big Tipper is finally loaded and headed to Wichita. Everybody have a good morning. All right, so it's been a few days. It's a home 20 there for Norman. Scrap prices have been down. I don't even know if he's hauling the scrap tonight. Meanwhile, it is 844-844-3388, the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
Turbocharger spool time.
turbochargers are designed to increase the efficiency and power of the diesel engine by forcing compressed air into the combustion chamber. Temperatures inside the turbo can reach upwards of 400 degrees. The oil meant to lubricate the bearings will burn, leaving behind a sticky residue called stiction. The turbo's ability to spool up quickly is hindered because the stiction-covered bearings can't spin properly. Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator cleans the stiction from turbo bearings, reducing spool time, and builds maximum boost sooner in the RPM range. Stiction Eliminator is a synthetic cleaner plus nano lubricant that contains no harmful solvents and is formulated to be left in the engine to safely dissolve stiction for thousands of miles. It works as you drive.
Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator. Available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
Jeans aren't one size fits all. Your seats shouldn't be either. That's the idea behind Bostrom's Wide Ride. It's the future of seating comfort. The Wide Ride features a 23-inch wide seat cushion and backrest, flex mat cushion support system, full lever recline, and front and rear cushion tilt on Bostrom's premium suspension system, allowing you to find your perfect fit. Optional features include a seat heater and a new innovative smart seat memory. With the flip of a switch, your seat can be a help and not a hindrance, allowing you to get in and out of your cab with ease. The premium foam is what makes the Wide Ride seat the perfect fit. It's designed to work for drivers of all shapes and sizes, and each seat is custom built right here in the USA. It's the smart seat choice. Go to BostromSeating.com now and find ultimate comfort for the open road with the Wide Ride from Bostrom.
And now, back to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
What do you say, Pappy? What's happening out there? Double nickel degrees, Harrison, Ohio. As the President of the United States addressed the nation from the Oval Office, U.S. troops were being attacked via mortar and rocket from Iran-backed militants in Iraq. The speech. Well, the big guy did manage to get through reading the teleprompter. That's a plus, I guess. Words spoken do not match actions. Sorry, big guy, I'm not buying into your begging Americans to send their tax-paying dollars to Ukraine. Failed to convince me why Ukraine is an existential national security threat to the United States. You gave no warning to Iran to stay out of Israel. Meanwhile, U.S. destroyers shooting down cruise missiles launched from Yemen, headed towards Israel. I don't think he even mentioned that. Saddle up, nocturnal listeners, in for a good TGIF show. Crazy weekend ahead. Israel knocking on the door of Gaza's Hamas demons. With all that said, stay safe, hammer down, and keep that situational awareness. Indeed, are you with me? 844-844-3388. There we go. Buckeye Boy. checks in from Ackworth, Georgia, where we're actually cooler than at the secret bunker. We're at 54 degrees right now. Had some sprinkles here today, not much, but Buckeyes, Ohio State now 5.5 point. I guess that's favorites, right? Which worries me. All right, Diamondbacks, Phillies, the Astros, Rangers games, both good games. And Jacksonville held off the Saints. Thursday night football, 31-24, the final there. All right, have a great night, a better weekend. Everybody be careful out there and go Buckeyes. Thank you, Buckeye boy. Oh, there's Cap and Ron. One day closer to Monday. It feels like I got a cold coming on, so I'll maybe talk to you Monday, the greatest day of the week. I notice that's that time of year, right? It's going around, right? All right, Bidu, hello, good morning, Stephen. The overnight crew waiting on loads back to Youngstown. A tip of the hat to Hillbilly Tex this Friday morning. Roy is in northwest Illinois, 51 degrees, very humid, 99% dew point. All right, windy in northwest Illinois. On to, there's a lot going on in the Middle East. Let me start with actually our U.S. naval forces kind of being involved this past day. A U.S. Navy warship taking out 3 missiles that had been fired from Yemen and were headed north, according to officials. The official said the USS Carney, a naval destroyer, was in the Red Sea, intercepted the 3 missiles, not immediately certain if they were aimed at Israel. One of the officials said they don't believe the missiles were aimed at the ship, but speaking on the condition of anonymity. Iranian-backed Houthi rebels have expressed support for the Palestinians and threatened Israel, of course. Last week in Yemen's Sana'a, which is held by the Houthi rebels, still at war with a Saudi-led coalition, demonstrators crowded the streets waving Yemeni and Palestinian flags. The rebels' slogan long has been, God is the greatest, death to America, death to Israel. Curse of the Jews, victory to Islam. That's their slogan. Last week, the rebels group leader warned the United States against intervening in the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas, threatening that his forces would retaliate by firing drones and missiles. Can't help but kind of wonder, were those maybe even headed for? Were they destined for the ship? What do we have coming up in the coming days? Now, I said a lot's going on. Matter of fact, U.S. troops have been repeatedly attacked in Iraq and Syria in recent days. Officials acknowledging on Thursday, as Washington is on heightened alert for activity by the Iranian-backed groups. U.S. troops have been attacked in Iraq and Syria over 7 times in the last 48 hours. And the President of the United States just made absolutely zero mention of the attacks or a response in his address to the nation. Now, with tensions spiking in the Middle East, U.S. forces are facing increasing threats. As I just mentioned, a naval warship shooting down missiles appearing to be headed towards Israel Thursday. American bases in Iraq and Syria repeatedly targeted by drone attacks. Later Thursday afternoon, a U.S. official said there had been an attack near Baghdad's airport where U.S. forces are still on the ground. One projectile was shot down, another was struck. According to the early reports, no one was injured. Not clear what type of munition was fired. Now, earlier, the USS Carney, we just shared, intercepted 3 land attack cruise missiles and several drones launched by the Houthi forces in Yemen. The action by the Carney potentially representing the first shots by the U.S. military in defense of Israel in this conflict. Brigadier General Pat Ryder, the Pentagon press secretary, told reporters the missiles were potentially, in his words, headed toward Israel, but they have not yet finished their assessment of what they were targeting. They do not believe the missiles were aimed at the U.S. warship, but an array of other drone attacks over the past 3 days did target U.S. bases, including one in southern Syria this past day, Thursday, that caused minor injuries. This rash of violence in the wake of the deadly explosion at the Gaza hospital, which we, with each passing day now, getting more details about that. Apparently this media narrative that, of course, was presented by the Palestinians of 500 dead, a massacre. The real intelligence now is saying it's probably more like 50. 50, not 500. I mean, exaggerated by 900%. So we'll give you more on that coming up here as well. You got to get the true information. For whatever reason, the media seems to be just mainstream, just running with whatever the Palestinians throw their way. And we know you can't believe a damn thing coming out of their mouths, but we'll get our news break and get to your calls ahead at 844-844-3388.
USA News Update. Earlier this evening, President Biden talked from the Oval Office. He spoke about several things involving Israel and Ukraine. One of his main points is we need to support them financially.
I'm going to send to Congress an urgent budget request to fund America's national security needs, to support our critical partners, including Israel and Ukraine. Help us build a world that is safer, more peaceful, more prosperous.
The conflict between Israel and Hamas has claimed more American lives. The State Department said 32 Americans have been confirmed dead and another 11 are unaccounted for. Walmart and Aldi are reducing prices on Thanksgiving foods this year. Walmart's CEO stated they are working to offset inflation by lowering prices on various food items, and both retailers plan to maintain these lower prices until the end of the year. Dave Collins, USA News.
Attention small business owners. This could be the most important 10-minute call you will ever make. You could recover up to $26,000 per employee today. And all you have to do is make one short 10-minute call to take your business up a notch or bounce back from these difficult couple of years. Omega Accounting Solutions can help you recover any payroll tax overpayments you made during the pandemic. You may even be eligible to receive up to $26,000 per employee. All it takes is a quick, easy, free 10-minute ERC consultation to determine if you qualify. Omega is the small business champion with teams dedicated to maximizing tax credits. They know their stuff so well that CPAs and payroll companies even turn to Omega for ERC tax guidance. Call 800-300-9ERC. That's 800-300-9ERC. 1-800-300-9ERC or visit OmegaTaxCredit.com.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
Product claims without proof.
every trucker on the road has heard product claims about an additive that simply didn't match their experience. Proof is found from third-party testing by a recognized, credible source. That's proof. Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator will improve your performance and fuel economy. For proof, we engaged the Ohio State University Center of Automotive Research to conduct an EPA-certified fuel economy test with Stiction Eliminator on a FedEx truck, a 2006 P500 Freightliner with 247,000 miles. The test showed a 3.6% increase in highway driving fuel economy from Stiction Eliminator, an oil additive. The complete report from OSU is available for download at HotShotSecret.com. That's proof.
Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator, available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
For anything diesel, take it to Shy Diesel. They provide a wide variety of services and diagnostics to determine what the problem is with the latest technology. From simple oil changes and preventative maintenance to fuel system diagnostics and repairs, engine rebuilds and cylinder head repairs, and rebuilds with our in-house machine shop. They also have on-site DPF cleaning for exhaust issues and DOT inspections. If your diesel is asking for some attention, Shine Diesel has the specialist you need for anything diesel. Located in Terre Haute and Lafayette, Indiana, and Effingham, Illinois, Shine Diesel has you covered.
Hey, don't forget, as a listener to this program, you get 10% off your entire order at HotShotSecret.com by using the coupon code Overnight Drive.
Attention all truckers, Dean Michael, the tax doctor here. I want to talk to you about those dreaded tax problems. I know you want to keep on trucking and not even think about them. Well, let's face it, they're not going away all on their own. You need professional help. I've been helping truckers put their tax problems in the rearview mirror for years. I can help you too. Call me for a free consultation at 888-632-4506 or go to mytaxhelpmd.com. It's like I always say, keep your eyes on the road, I'll keep mine on the IRS. 888-632-4506.
How do you sleep on the road? After downtime, do you wake up well-rested and invigorated or tired, achy, and sore? Well, if it's the latter, you're not sleeping on the Big Rig Mattress. The Big Rig Mattress is a hybrid with an individually pocketed spring core that's engineered to deliver the best restorative sleep for your time on the road. Many drivers have said they sleep better over the road on the Big Rig Mattress than they do at home. Learn more about the Big Rig Mattress at thebigrigmattress.com or call 877-736-4233. Most standard sizes ship within 72 business hours. The Big Rig Mattress, 100% made in the USA since 2009.
Because Channel 19's a little congested. Call Steve now at 844-844-3388. The Overnight Drive.
All right, once again, a Friday coming on. Good to have you on board. Hello, Santa Claus, on a Friday evening from Sacramento, California, top of the morning. Just returned home from the Moose Lodge. Mrs. Claus and I are going to be doing another Oktoberfest this weekend. And we do it right with our authentic Lederhosen. Is Santa Claus out? All right, sounds like a good time. Enjoy that Oktoberfest. Hello, Stephen. Good morning, Steve. All the truck drivers out there that keep things moving. Keep on praying for Israel. I got through about half the details as far as, yes, U.S. forces stationed throughout the Middle East. Also on Thursday, a garrison in southeastern Syria was struck by drones. U.S. troops have maintained a presence at that base for a number of years to train Syrian allies and monitor Islamic State militant activity in that region. Pentagon said one drone was shot down, another hit the base, and there were some minor injuries. This particular garrison is on a vital road that's often used by Iranian-backed militants to ferry weapons to Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, right there on Israel's doorstep. Syrian opposition activities also said there was a separate drone attack on an oil facility in eastern Syria that also houses American troops. 3 drones with explosives struck the Conoco gas field in the eastern province that borders Iraq. The Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, an opposition war monitor, also confirmed explosions at that location. Earlier this week, Tuesday, militants launched 3 drones against 2 Iraq bases that the U.S. uses to train forces and conduct operations against Islamic State there. During this spat of launches, one warning turned out to be a false alarm, but it did send personnel rushing to their bunkers. During that incident, a contractor suffered a cardiac arrest and passed away. Said the Pentagon does not have yet confirmation of who launched the drone attacks, but said the U.S. will take all necessary action to defend the U.S. and coalition forces. Military response would come at a time and manner of our choosing. Now, on the intercepts by Carney, Ryder said the strikes were done because the Houthi missiles posed a potential threat based on the flight profile. adding that the U.S. is prepared to do whatever is needed to protect our partners and our interest in this region, still assessing what the target of those missiles that came out of Yemen were. So, yeah, things really seem to be on the edge throughout the Middle East and all those U.S. forces that are still stationed there. You know, last year when Uncle Forrest passed away, his son is a contractor and had to come back from wherever he's based there in Iraq. Got to spend a few weeks there with his mom, Aunt Frances, before returning to Iraq, and he's been there since. So got family on the ground. I don't know what part of the country he's in. You know, when I got to talk to him, I said, I thought we had pretty much pulled out of Iraq. He kind of laughed. Okay, no, I said, trust me, we still have a presence there. That's okay. Be careful. Arland is his name. Say a prayer for Arland. All right, another weekend fast approaching, and so is a developing storm that's going to bring widespread windswept rain and flooding problems across parts of the Northeast and Atlantic Canada. The brunt of the storm will be New England and the Canadian Maritimes, but you will feel some of the impacts elsewhere in the Northeast with some showers and gusty winds. Now, this storm, which has been really lacking in moisture, dropping southeast across the Midwest on into the day Friday, but it kind of picks up steam as it heads toward the eastern seaboard, at which point it's going to kind of develop into a new storm as it begins to draw in moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic from Friday to Saturday. Transfers that energy to the Atlantic coast where that new storm forms and evolves into a nor'easter as it tracks on up toward New England Saturday to Sunday. All right, for New York City, other locations in the Northeast, it's very well, as I mentioned, maybe the seventh weekend in a row with pesky showers. Further south along the Interstate 95, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Norfolk, Virginia, rain progressively. Nothing's really changed over the past 24 hours. Progressively more like scattered showers in nature today. Friday probably going to be the wettest time. And a few thunderstorms are also maybe expected through the mid-Atlantic states, especially later on Friday afternoon. Friday, Saturday looks to be the soggy time with the showers there for New York City. All right, we'll get to the calls coming up here. Sundance Kid joins us out of the box on a Friday morning. First, let me jump over to our industry headlines, and we had touched on what's going on with Convoy, the platform known as Convoy, when they kind of made it sound like they were winding down operations. They were canceling loads, things that had been booked. Well, we got the official word, and it turns out to be more or less the worst-case scenario. Convoy is indeed closing down their core business operations. Employees were notified on Thursday, roughly one day after the fate was suddenly publicly thrown into doubt. In the letter from the Seattle-based digital brokerage's CEO and founder, Dan Lewis, following a company-wide phone call, said there was no suggestion that Convoy was about to see their digital brokerage operations snatched up by another suitor. That was what the rumor had been. Several names were thrown out on Wednesday. That is not the case, apparently. The company will simply retain a small team that will not only wind down existing operations, but handle future strategic options beyond that. Every other employee was let go like that. He said, we spent over 4 months exhausting all viable strategic options for the business. None of those options ultimately materialized into anything sufficient to keep the company going in its current form. Later in the letter, he said, following an exhaustive process, spanning many, many months during which we explored all strategic options for the business. The result is where we are today. Convoy is closing the doors on its current core business operations and exploring and evaluating strategic options for what might come next. Now, several employees spoke to FreightWaves on Thursday, said that they were not offered severance, adding that benefits will be available through the company until the end of the month, and then through COBRA until the end of November. The ultimate blame for the collapse, according to Lewis, is that Convoy found itself in the middle of a massive freight recession and a contraction in the capital markets. This combination ultimately crushed our progress at the same time that it was crushing our logical, strategic acquirer. It was the perfect storm. But it wasn't just the logical, strategic acquirer. There's been a drop in merger and acquisition activity in the logistics sector, and most of the logical, strategic acquirers of Convoy are also suffering from the freight market collapse, making the deal doing that much harder. The identity of the, quote, logical, strategic acquirer was not revealed, but there were multiple reports stating C.H. Robinson was in advanced talks about an acquisition of Convoy. C.H. Robinson's prior CEO, Bob Biesterfield, was ousted at the start of the year, reportedly because of lagging performance of their technology to compete with digital brokerages like Convoy. C.H. Robinson certainly has undergone crushing times. Their stock down about 10.5% in the last year, about 15% in the last 3 months. It was trading midday Thursday at about $83 a share, well down from the 52-week high of $108 and a nickel back in February of this year. C.H. Robinson declined to comment on any of discussions about acquiring Convoy, but later Lewis pulled no punches. He said, "We moved all business levers possible. We were running up the down escalator, and the down escalator kept speeding up despite our work on our product and service innovation, extensive revenue-driven efforts, and the painful and sweeping cost cuts that we've had to endure. It was just not enough to get us into the financial position necessary to withstand the increasing pressures of the industry without the need of outside funding." So that's pretty big. That's no word on how many employees actually worked at Convoy, but most, what a earth-shattering news you get. What's going on, Sundance?
Hey, not much. Man, what a great day. They're going down. The brokers are going down. I can't wait till they're all out of business. C.H. Robinson, they need to go down too. Get them all out of here. Thieving bastards. But anyway,
I've never heard I've never really heard many any truck drivers offer any positive sentiment about CH.
No. They when you get 80% of not enough, it's not enough. It don't matter how much it is. So if they get the rates right, then we can all make money. But they're the middleman that's stealing all the money and setting our rates on what we're going to haul it for, and they have no idea how much it costs. Well, they do, but they know how to keep a slave. But I'm working on my deal. I'm gonna nationalize. We're gonna get this right probably by June of next year. But anyway, hey, I just want to thank you last night for the conversation and what you read after we parted ways last night.
Mm-hmm.
The QE, qualitative easing stuff, and I that makes, it makes sense what you said, but my only problem with the QE is when we have corporations making record profits. Now, how if they're just doing it just to get us to buy stuff, but they're making record profits? We're just they're giving us money so we can go buy what we want, but at a cost is later on down the line.
Yep.
And and that's, I mean, we're just enriching. I mean, you can give us money, but we don't need to spend it like we're going. This is, we're going to get some more next week, because we're not going to get no more next week. So that's my only problem. When we're paying corporations, like last quarter, they made as much as we pay the United States government in a whole year in 1 3-month quarter. That's where I got a problem. When they're making record profits and inflation's high, they shouldn't be making record profits. They should be barely getting by, just like the rest of us. So that's the problem I got with that. But yeah, and I'm looking back in history. I see a correlation of this inflation thing going on, and when we have big recession swings. Back in the 70s, when we had the oil problem, the embargoes and all that, which caused inflation, and the price of gas went up, and there was a shortage of gas and all that stuff. Then we go into the late 90s, when diesel doubled overnight and was always cheaper than gasoline, and for some unknown reason, it went above gasoline and stayed above gasoline ever since. That's, and then we had the recession, but we kind of masked it with the 9/11 going to war thing. We didn't really pay attention. But then it come back when we had the 2005, when diesel got high again under George W. Bush. And then by 2007, Lehman Brothers was going out of business. And, I just see a correlation with the price of oil and what the economy does. And now we got high fuel prices over the last year or two, and we're having problems with the economy again. Everything to me, I mean, I'm just looking at the big picture. We didn't have these boom and bust cycles like this back in the 40s and 50s when oil was kind of stabilized. Do you see a correlation?
All I know is everything kind of goes in cycles, and what I'm sitting here after, the convoy is going under. I've got another 95-year-old company that announced yesterday they're going to be shutting their doors. I've been sharing night after night stories of these trucking companies going under, and I've seen these cycles before. I mean, typically the trucking industry is the barometer of what the overall economy is going to be doing, like in 60, 90 days. And I'm beginning to wonder, because they've been talking about, are we going to go in recession? We're holding it off. We're holding it off. And this is beginning to look to me like we may be headed toward a possible recession. Now, as far as the oil prices, undoubtedly, because I remember going back over the years, for every nickel increase in the price of gas or diesel, they can calculate how many billions of dollars it takes out of the rest of the economy. And so when you're for a $1 increase price per gallon, I mean, that's tons of money that people that would maybe be going out to eat Friday night or Saturday night, they're putting that in their tank, and they don't have that money to spend at the end of the week.
Right. And like us owner-operators out here, like every time diesel goes up 10 cents, it costs us 2 cents a mile.
There you go.
Okay. And when it goes from $2.50 back, 2021 to $4.50, it just went up $2. And you're looking $2, that's 10 cents, so that's about 40 cents a mile that it went up on us. And 40 cents a mile on 100,000 miles is $40,000 out of our pocket that we're not getting a fuel surcharge. And, they say we're getting it, but they stealing that too. But that's $40,000. That's almost $800. That's $800 a week that I can't go and provide, go to a place and service them, like buy a sandwich or a steak dinner, and it's just crazy. But it's based all on oil to me. I mean, every time we have an oil problem, we got, and like I said, we produced more last year than we ever have in this country. I don't know if you looked that up, but it's 17.8 million barrels a day. We're producing more than anybody else in the world. So we're okay. It's all a big game, and that's why we went to the petrodollar in the 70s so they could print up a bunch of money. Because if you wanted to buy oil in the Middle East, you had to use American dollars to buy oil from Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
You could those countries could not use their own money, and that's printing up money for, that's where we've had this big spike since, like we talked about last night. 70s you could buy a nice car for $3,000 or $4,000, and now they're $40,000. And from 1903 to the 70s, it only went up $4,000, and now that's got to be the reason why.
Yeah,
when we went on the pet show.
Definitely a contributing factor. Eskimo Mom she threw in a valid point, I guess you'd say, last evening after our talk about the cost of vehicles today. Look what we have. When you sit down behind the driver's seat, you've got the digital screens, you've got the entertainment platforms, digital this, digital that. There's a whole lot more to a vehicle. But yeah, they want to sell those cars for $50,000, $60,000. Someone else said, well, yeah, I'd rather have my 1975 Nova with the stripped down models, the roll down the windows with the handles and none of that electric gadgets. It would be a cheap car, right? I want to get from point A to point B. I don't need all these luxuries. But those stripped down models, they don't make the big automakers any profits. It's these big, $70,000 F-250s and things like that. That's where their big money makers are. So they don't care about providing us with a cheap, affordable vehicle. But all right, what do we got here? Hello to Debbie. Good morning, Steve. A chilly 52 here in the Hoosier, going up to about 59. Not much warm up today. Rain in the forecast. Hoping everybody stays safe out there today, especially my special driver, Woodpecker. Have a great weekend and a fabulous Friday. All right, the 95-year-old company, a third-generation family-owned trucking company and brokerage, Certified Freight Logistics, headquartered in Santa Maria, California, will be ceasing operations Saturday. After 95 years, Scott Kramer, president of Certified Freight Logistics, said he notified employees here on August 22nd that the company and freight brokerage, which employs about 157 workers, including 101 line haul and local truck drivers, would begin layoffs Saturday, with the wind down of the company concluding on or about November 18th. Just going to clear out the system, in other words. CFL, Certified Freight Logistics, which hauled refrigerated food and fresh produce for major retailers throughout the West, also filed a worker adjustment and retraining notification, the WARN Act notification, in August with the California Employment Development Department, letting them know of their impending closure. Kramer told FreightWaves he's working with truck dealers about early lease terminations, stating that the current freight conditions have been pretty difficult. Management's been trying to maintain profitable operations, but current market conditions have made it difficult to operate without a loss. The pandemic volume demand, equipment availability issues, increased cost followed by falling freight rates, and reduced volume put us in a place forcing us to make this difficult decision. You can't continue operating at a loss. Now, he did say the company has arranged transition services for their employees, including many who have been with the company for more than 20 years. Now, aside from closing the headquarters in Santa Maria, CFL will close its yards in Stockton, California, and Sumner, Washington. They said they delayed any decision for some time as they tried to resolve the fundamental operating issues. They're no longer able to viably operate. I mean, some concerning signs we're seeing in the trucking industry. All right, we'll get back to your calls here. News update just ahead, so we'll get the latest there. No, we still do not have a Speaker of the House. Now, I'm a bit confused. Is Jordan going to try to do it? It was on and off and on. He withdrew this past day. Then the headline says he's back in the mix, and they're going to vote at like 10 or 11 this morning. I don't know what the hell's going on. We'll try to sort through that coming up here. And not a good day for Tesla stock. Elon Musk warning that high interest rates may sap electric vehicle demand. Really impacted their share prices this past day. So lots to cover here on a Friday morning.
It's coming. Crisp fall mornings turn bitter cold. As you fire up your diesel, you can see your breath on the inside of the cab. Imagine looking deep into your engine. Freezing temperatures impact your diesel's fluids, especially fuel. On a 23-degree morning, the paraffin wax in your untreated fuel starts to morph from fluid to large crystals. These crystals clump together and form a gel. At minus 10 degrees, your fuel hits the point where it no longer pours like a liquid. It's so dense that the flow through the fuel filter will slow, causing hard starts or no starts. Get prepared now for the cold that is coming. Hot Shot Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel is a premium fuel additive that lowers your fuel's pour point to minus 65 degrees. If it's that cold out, you shouldn't be on the road. You ought to be at home in front of the fireplace. Hot Shot Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel Premium Fuel Additive. Available now online at HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
Whether you're a diesel pickup performance enthusiast or just looking for a small upgrade, when selecting common rail fuel system components, look no further than Exergy Performance. At Exergy, you'll find injectors, pumps, and more, engineered like no others on the market using state-of-the-art equipment run by people that have been in the business for decades. Exergy is the home of the Sportsman line of injectors. These injectors are designed for use in pickup trucks with no other modifications and offer a 15 to 20 horsepower gain while being calibrated to tighter tolerances than factory stock injectors. With a product lineup of injectors from Sportsman to 700% over, pumps from Sportsman to 14 millimeters, and complete engine control systems, Exergy has you covered. So if you're in the market for common rail components at any power level, contact Exergy Performance or one of our many dealers listed on our website at exergyperformance.com.
Live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios, the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
USA News, I'm Dave Collins. President Biden is about to address the nation from the Oval Office. He's anticipated to speak on the significance of the conflicts in Israel and Ukraine in relation to the U.S. national security. The State Department has issued a warning advising Americans abroad to exercise increased caution. According to spokesman Matt Miller, the advisory issued today points to
the potential for terrorist attacks, demonstrations, or violent actions against U.S. citizens and interests.
This advisory comes in the midst of escalating tensions between Israel and the Palestinian militant group Hamas. The proposal to authorize interim Speaker Patrick Henry to assume the role until January is facing resistance. Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan informed reporters this afternoon that Republican members have opted not to vote on a resolution to grant McHenry this authority. It is price gouging or just business?
The price of the life-saving COVID-19 antiviral medication Paxlovid is now more than double as we transition out of the emergency phase of the pandemic. Drug maker Pfizer is saying before insurance, the cost will be about $1,390 for a 5-day course. That's 2.6 times higher than the $530 per course price paid by the U.S. government, which gave Paxlovid free to patients during the pandemic.
That's Corey Myers reporting. This is USA News.
Omaha Steaks is rewriting the book on burgers with an all-new handmade texture for the juiciest home-style burgers you've ever tasted. Their pure ground burgers are made from single cuts of real aged Omaha steaks. These are truly steaks on a bun. Filet mignon, ribeye, New York strip, sirloin, and even brisket burgers. Now is the time to experience the exclusive Burger Perfection Flight for just $79.99. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code TREAT at checkout to get an extra $20 off your order, plus free shipping. You'll get 4 of each pure ground burger, so you can sample all the steak on a bun greatness. These burgers are crafted for a juicier, more tender experience, making your mouth water with every single bite. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com, use promo code TREAT at checkout, and get $20 off the Burger Perfection Flight and discover your new burger obsession. Minimum order may be required.
In Maryland, a Montgomery County police sergeant remains at shock trauma after he was intentionally struck by a vehicle on I-270 in Gaithersburg yesterday. Police Chief Marcus Jones says the officers at the scene provided life-saving efforts to Sergeant Patrick Kapp.
We have been told that without those efforts by emergency medical teams, that they don't believe that Sergeant Kapp would have survived his injury.
The Federal Reserve Chief contends that inflation remains excessively high, suggesting that a decrease in economic growth may be necessary to alleviate it.
These shorter-term measures are often volatile, and in any case, inflation is still too high, and a few months of good data are only the beginning of what it will take to build confidence that inflation is moving down sustainably toward our goal.
Jerome Powell expressed uncertainty regarding the duration of these reduced readings and where inflation might stabilize in the upcoming months. Walmart and Aldi are reducing prices on Thanksgiving foods this year. Walmart CEO stated they are working to offset inflation by lowering prices with potential reductions of up to 50%. Tonight, the Jacksonville Jaguars facing off against the New Orleans Saints in Thursday Night Football. The Jags are on a 3-game winning streak, boasting a record of 4 wins and 2 losses. On the other hand, the Saints are coming off a defeat against the Houston Texans and hold a record of 3 wins and 3 losses. Dave Collins, USA News.
Have you ever picked up a towel set because it felt really soft in the store, but then when you go to use it, it's not very absorbent? That's why MyPillow has developed the MyPillow towels. Towels that work. The 6-piece towel set includes 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. And right now you can receive a 6-piece set for only $39.98 with promo code USA. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener special, and enter promo code USA, or call 800-951-8175. That's MyPillow.com, promo code USA.
Do you have a Dodge pickup and hate your automatic transmission? Of course you do. LaVon Miller at Firepunk Diesel here, and we specialize in heavy-duty and performance transmissions for your 3-quarter or 1-ton Cummins-powered truck. So if you're interested in turning your stock slush box into a towing monster, call us today at 614-733-3744 or visit us online at shop.firepunk.com.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
diesel particulate filter regeneration.
The DPF catches particulates left over from combustion. The DPF regeneration cycle cleans the filter with temperatures exceeding 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. A computer sensor triggers the DPF regen, which is often accompanied by a loss of power and fuel economy. The frequency of DPF regens are in correlation to the cleanliness of the fuel burn. Under heavy operation with a dirty burn, DPF regens can occur multiple times per day. Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme Fuel Additive promotes a more complete combustion, creating fewer emissions and therefore fewer DPF regens. Vehicles using Diesel Extreme experience 83% less DPF regens.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, Fine Farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
All right, here we go. Round number 2. Hey, it's a Friday. Casual Friday. Now, we actually do. Hey, Brain Dead forwarded me. I got a DA of the Week nominee. I've got a Darwin Award winner. Winner, chicken dinner. First, let me jump back into What in the world's going to go on? Will we ever find a Speaker of the House? It was on again, off again. Yeah, Jordan knew he didn't have the votes. They postponed the vote again. At one point, he said he had withdrawn. Then he comes back at, 3 in the afternoon, I think, somewhere in there. It's been hard to follow because I slept through much of the afternoon. Here's what we know at this point. Jim Jordan says he's going to hold a press conference at like 8 o'clock this morning, Eastern Time, Friday morning, at the U.S. Capitol prior to the third round of voting for the speakership. I told reporters earlier in the day, I'm still running for Speaker. I plan to go to the floor and get the votes and win this race. Now, I said he met with 22 holdouts who had voted against him, either both or in that second round of voting. But it doesn't appear he won any of them over. We told him we were solid no's. That was the discussion. Now he's got a decision to make, according to Representative Vern Buchanan of Florida. He was one of the no votes. So it sounds like they're sticking to their guns. As the House has been at a standstill for nearly 3 weeks now. Now, Jordan did suggest earlier yesterday that Republicans should extend the authority of Patrick McHenry, the guy who's serving as Speaker pro tempore right now. We've got many Republicans that say, no way, Jose, to that. At this point, we're not going to have any kind of other resolution on this. Representative Blaine Lukenmeyer of Missouri, Jordan has failed to secure the 217, as we know. 2 votes. Now, his third attempt will be coming up at supposedly 10 o'clock this morning when the House opens for business. I just can't help but wonder, maybe at this 8 a.m. press conference, if Jim knows he's not going to have the votes, it would essentially be a waste of time and just further embarrassment to go in and try again. John Gizzi explains, as of Thursday afternoon, uncertain whether the House will agree on a speaker anytime soon. But one thing is clear, he says, Jordan will not get the votes to become Speaker today, Friday, or any time in this Congress. He backed the plan to grant greater power to Patrick McHenry, as we just mentioned, that would allow lawmakers to bring legislation to the floor to deal with what are critical issues right now. But Jordan's problem is that his opposition is growing. He went from 20 no's on the first ballot to 22 on the second. Looks like for a third ballot Friday, members tell me the numbers against Jordan will actually go up with this vote. Closed-door meeting at the GOP conference Thursday morning, Drew Ferguson of Georgia revealed that he had received a death threat after switching his vote away from Jordan on that second ballot. This one day after Representative Marionette Miller Meeks of Iowa sent out a letter pointing out that she had received a death threat and reported that to authorities. Miller Meeks, like Ferguson, voted for Jordan on the first ballot, then switched to another candidate on that second vote. In both circumstances, Jordan denied any involvement, saying threatening the lives of elected officials is unforgivable. But members tell Newsmax they've been shocked by the level of threats and intimidation that are being made against Jordan's opponents. Other Republicans fear Jordan will harm their chances of keeping the House. Popular among the base, Jordan will become a target of the media and the Democrats. Michelle Steele of California said that she's starting to feel anger at home from this speaker war that's going on in the House. The people are getting fed up with this. Apparently, billboards showing pictures of Donald Trump, Jim Jordan, and the congresswoman with the label extremists have been spotted in her Orange County district, 45th district there in California. I represent a district, Orange County, that went for Joe Biden by 7 percentage points in 2020, she says. Now, if Jordan fails to win on the third ballot, expect growing calls for him to step aside so other candidates can be considered. So if I was going to place a wager, I'm thinking this 8 a.m. press conference maybe just to kind of get out and ahead of what appears to be an even more embarrassing. But what if 25 or more than 22 vote no here on Friday morning? But where are we going to go? It's insanity. The Republican Party is in meltdown mode at this point in time. Here we are, Friday, Knucklebuster.
Oh, morning, Mr. Steve Summers. Well, praise the Lord, we made it to Casual Friday there. Yep, we was talking about that 75 Nova. I had a 74 Nova there. We used to take a air filter lid on it and turn it upside down, listen to that 4-barrel carburetor sing to us there.
Right.
Yeah, but my babies and my grandbabies won't ever get to experience that there. Well, it's for all them dumbasses out there that you got them Darwin Awards for. When you're dead, you don't know you're dead. The pain is felt by others. The same thing happens when you're stupid. So, well, enough of all that.
It's about the extent of it. That is a true fact.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that's right. Let me tell you about my 7-year-old grandson. He told his grandmother, and a friend of his at school said an inappropriate word. His oldest sister asked him what it meant. He said it means doing something that isn't nice. His other sister asked him what the word was. His friend literally said the word inappropriate.
That's good.
So,
inappropriate.
Yeah, inappropriate. That's right. Well, here's another good reason not to go to California, Steve. The speed cameras are coming to the car capital of America, according to the article in the Drive there. So, yep. So that's going to be in L.A. there. And this is the best joke I've heard all week, Steve. This was on the Babylon Bee, so it was just a bunch of baloney there. Hillary Clinton, the only crime I ever committed was stealing the hearts of the American people.
Oh, boy.
The interview asked Clinton if she was guilty of any of the myriad accusations against her when she admitted to being 100% guilty of being America's sweetheart.
Gotta love the Babylon Bee.
Yeah, I know it. Being an extremely likable person, beloved by every true American, is a crime. Then lock me up. She said, laughing, I'm guilty on all counts. Put me away for years, throw me in the dungeon, and lose the key in the garbage there. So, I guess it's laughing on the floor and rolling around there, right?
Yeah.
Well, I got some real news. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, she signed an executive order eliminating all anti-women words, all anti-woke words. You got to be designated by the gender that you were born at there. So she got told that Chinese company to get their that they couldn't have any land in Arkansas either. And Steve, Cher says she'll leave the U.S. if Trump retakes the White House. Do you really think that's going to happen?
Who said they would leave?
Cher.
Oh, Cher. Yeah, Sonny and Cher.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, what's his name, Fruitcake Alec Baldwin, didn't he threaten to leave if George W. Bush won?
Right.
I say he's still here. Yeah, well, I don't believe she's going to do it. Is that employee at the Cincinnati Zoo, is he okay?
No, I missed out. What happened there?
He got bit by a rattlesnake.
Oh,
see?
really?
He got hospitalized.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, well, you can't catch them all, so you just one man there, so that's what you got all these callers for, to help you out there. Yep. And let's see, and that Army private who fled to North Korea, he's getting charged with desertion, and we'll see what happens with all that there.
Yep.
Well, that'll be all my old bull on it for this go around. I'll let somebody else get in there. So,
all right.
Last night we went to work from worse to bad, and then what was the last caller? Good Lord.
You never know, do you? All right, so, all right, it is Friday morning, and we've got clear lines at 844-844-3388. Jeff is on board, though. Good morning from New York City. Thanks for a great week of shows this week. All right, hello to Glenn. Good morning, Steve. A beautiful 57 degrees here in Florida tonight. And we've got some good trucking weather. All right. Eric, hey there. Good to see you, Steve. I might be throwing my hat back in the ring. I'm thinking about getting my CDL back. Anybody have any advice on that? Is it time to get back in, hit the road again? A lot of folks have done that. Hey, Big Ed's back out there. Are you with me? He retired, just could not stand sitting around, just too bored. Yeah, got to do something. We talked earlier about the C.H. Robinson thing. Yeah, John Ferguson said it's C.H. Robuson. Robuson. Who else? Gary, Bourbon Street Gary. Good morning, Steve, and the overnight crew. Bourbon Street Gary checking in. Everybody be safe and have a good weekend. And Gary is on board early this Friday morning. Good morning, Steve, and all the overnight crew. 54 here in Southwest Ohio. Good to have you with us. 844-844-3388.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
Diesel fuel cetane levels.
in many states, the cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts. Due to a cleaner burn, there are less hydrocarbons and particulate matter in your exhaust. This reduces the blockage of your diesel particulate filter. Using Diesel Extreme generates 83% less DPF regenerations. The 6-in-1 Diesel Extreme formula also includes the most concentrated detergent on the market, lubricity enhancer, water demulsifier, rust and corrosion inhibitors, and a fuel stabilizer.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, Fine Farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Jeans aren't one size fits all. Your seats shouldn't be either. That's the idea behind Bostrom's Wide Ride. It's the future of seating comfort. The Wide Ride features a 23-inch wide seat cushion and backrest, flex mat cushion support system, full lever recline, and front and rear cushion tilt on Bostrom's premium suspension system, allowing you to find your perfect fit. Optional features include a seat heater and a new innovative smart seat memory. With the flip of a switch, your seat can be a help and not a hindrance, allowing you to get in and out of your cab with ease. The premium foam is what makes the Wide Ride seat the perfect fit. It's designed to work for drivers of all shapes and sizes, and each seat is custom built right here in the USA. It's the smart seat choice. Go to BostromSeating.com now and find ultimate comfort for the open road with the Wide Ride from Bosch.
And now, back to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
All right, thank you, Knucklebuster. I guess that just happened, Thursday afternoon? Okay. Cincinnati Zoo and Botanical Gardens employee bitten by a rattlesnake Thursday afternoon. Paramedics responding to the reptile house for a report of a snake bite, an eastern diamondback rattlesnake, just before 4 in the afternoon. The employee, they simply said an adult female, was not named, taken to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center in stable condition. But yeah, the largest rattlesnake in the world, the largest venomous snake in North America, the eastern diamondback. How about that? Cincinnati Zoo Communications Director said the employee works in the reptile department, happened in a behind-the-scenes area. There was never any danger to guests. Employee received a partial bite, and it was determined following a medical assessment that no anti-venom was actually needed. And her prognosis is good. Eastern diamondback. Native to Florida and nearby coastal areas along the Atlantic and Gulf of Mexico. But according to the Smithsonian National Zoo, a bite from the snake can be fatal. Deaths are rare because, of course, there is the availability of anti-venom. And I guess they would have had some of... You got the zoo in town, surely they would have anti-venom available right there. All right, on over to... Let's hop on to the electric vehicle bandwagon. There's been no shortage of talk about electric vehicles this week. And again, most of it negative. Elon Musk warning interest rates may sap electric vehicle demand, which knocked shares of the sector Thursday. Some analysts questioning if Tesla can maintain the runaway growth that they have for years, setting them apart from other automakers. The world's most valuable automaker sank more than 10% in heavy trading. Rivals, including the likes of Rivian Automotive, Lucid Group, and Fisker, fell between 3.4 and 4.5%. The legacy automaker, Ford, was down 1.2%. But the comments were kind of a change in tone from Tesla's CEO, who just last year said his company was recession resilient. The electric vehicle maker missed revenue estimates on Wednesday by the most in more than 3 years, and Musk said it's impossible to maintain a 50% annual delivery growth rate. It didn't have the same zip. Well, we await Tesla's earnings call with a sense of excitement and suspense, and they usually deliver. That was not the case on Wednesday night. Company expected to cut prices further in the current quarter to meet the annual deliveries goal of 1.8 million vehicles. So the analysts saying continue to believe Tesla is a car company and that the competitive nature of the auto industry will make it difficult for any player to have a sustained profitability advantage. Overall, 15 analysts cut their price targets on the stock, pushing the median view to $260. The Tesla stock had nearly doubled this year. Optimism from investors the company would fare better than all the others in an uncertain economy. All right. Other electric vehicle news. On to the trucking sector. We see Nikola Corporation telling their customers they will replace the battery packs in all the electric trucks, a worst-case scenario following several fires. Nikola is bringing all the trucks back to its Arizona plant. They will not say where or when they're going to get battery pack replacements, though. In most recalls, the supplier of the part or the component involved bears at least some of the cost of the campaign. In this case, Nikola, it owned They've owned it since the liquidated former supplier, Romeo Power Incorporated. So they're on the hook for the full cost of this recall. Cost is unknown. But, I mean, if you're talking the likes of $20,000 to replace a battery for an automobile, these trucks have battery packs, 3, 4, 5 times more than, going to be big bucks. Nikola appears to have accelerated the sale of newly authorized shares to try and raise money to pay for it. They did not answer any questions presented from FreightWaves. It said the recall issue would be covered in their third quarter earnings call, which is coming up November 2nd. But Nikola purchased Romeo August of last year as a hedge against the battery pack maker running out of money and halting supplies, which has brought on a series of other headlines. Romeo had been discounting the price that they charged Nikola by $110,000 per battery pack. They say discounted? If you're discounted at $110,000, good Lord, what is the actual cost? Now, Nikola had to absorb that cost once it owned the technology. Nikola canceled contracts to supply packs to electric truck startups, E-Lightning Motors and Lion Electric Company, back in March. The pack manufacturing deficiencies led Nikola to recall all the 2022 and 23 Tre battery electric vehicles back in August. Several fires linked to the battery packs. At least 2 more fires reported even after that recall. Nikola in July decided to liquidate Romeo's assets, for which they had paid $144 million in stock. Mullen Automotive purchased the assets in September for $3.5 million. Talk about taking a loss. You pay $144 million, sell it for $3.5.
USA News Update. The conflict between Israel and Hamas has claimed more American lives. The State Department said 32 Americans have been confirmed dead and another 11 are unaccounted for. Said U.S. officials are working to try and secure the release of hostages held by Hamas. A warning to Americans overseas from the State Department.
State Department spokesman Matt Miller says
the Department of State advises U.S. citizens overseas to exercise increased caution.
According to Miller, the advisory issued Thursday points to
the potential for terrorist attacks, demonstrations, or violent actions against U.S. citizens and interests.
I'm John Schaefer.
Several Republican lawmakers report receiving death threats after they voted against Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan for Speaker of the House. At least 4 were targeted. This follows Jordan's second unsuccessful bid for the Speaker's gavel in as many days. Dave Collins, USA News.
Attention small business owners. This could be the most important 10-minute call you will ever make. You could recover up to $26,000 per employee today. And all you have to do is make one short 10-minute call to take your business up a notch or bounce back from these difficult couple of years. Omega Accounting Solutions can help you recover any payroll tax overpayments you made during the pandemic. You may even be eligible to receive up to $26,000 per employee. All it takes is a quick, easy, free 10-minute ERC consultation to determine if you qualify. Omega is the small business champion with teams dedicated to maximizing tax credits. They know their stuff so well that CPAs and payroll companies even turn to Omega for ERC tax guidance. Call 800-300-9ERC. That's 800-300-9ERC. 1-800-300-9ERC. Or visit OmegaTaxCredit.com.
Do you have a Dodge pickup and hate your automatic transmission? Of course you do. Levon Miller at Firepunk Diesel here, and we specialize in heavy-duty and performance transmissions for your 3-quarter or 1-ton Cummins-powered truck. So if you're interested in turning your stock slush box into a towing monster, call us today at 614-733-3744 or visit us online at shop.firepunk.com.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
Diesel fuel cetane levels.
In many states, the cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts. Due to a cleaner burn, there are less hydrocarbons and particulate matter in your exhaust. This reduces the blockage of your diesel particulate filter. Using Diesel Extreme generates 83% less DPF regenerations. The 6-in-1 Diesel Extreme formula also includes the most concentrated detergent on the market, lubricity enhancer, water demulsifier, rust and corrosion inhibitors, and a fuel stabilizer.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, fine farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret,
Powered by science.
Hey, if you're needing to stock up on Hot Shot Secret products, don't forget, use the coupon code OvernightDrive at checkout. You'll get 10% off your entire order at hotshotsecret.com. Over $5 a gallon for diesel? Wow, it's the highest it's ever been. Now, what if you could get paid to use a fuel additive? Hear me out. Hot Shot Secret Everyday Diesel Treatment, EDT, will improve your miles per gallon enough that the fuel economy savings will not only pay for the cost of the product, but also keep more money in your pocket. Think about it. At $5 a gallon, you're paying over $1,200 to fill up and going 1,500 miles on a full tank. Well, Hot Shot Secret Everyday Diesel Treatment will increase fuel economy up to 3%. That's an extra 45 miles per tank, $37 worth of diesel, and a savings of 2 cents every mile. EDT is so strong, it only takes $12 worth of EDT to get these savings, and you get all the other benefits of this 6-in-1 treatment. Take the EDT challenge today. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll refund your purchase. EDT is available at Pilot Flying J, Love's Travel Stops, and TA and Petro Stopping Centers. Learn more at hotshotsecret.com.
At Turbo 3000, our founder Andy Matouche firmly believed you should challenge yourself.
Put the most money back in your pocket, where it belongs. Four Wheeler Magazine took our challenge, and they wrote it did exactly what we said it would do.
As fuel prices keep going up, get your Turbo 3000 from manufacturer direct. Call us at 888-311-9993. Always free shipping in the USA, and for a limited time, save $45 off total purchase using coupon code STEVESAVES at turbo3000.com.
And now, back to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive, live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
Someone had called and asked here a few weeks ago, how's things going on growing the show? I said, well, hell, I hadn't talked to anybody. I don't know. Who's out there? I mean, we always, love to get those first-time callers. I spoke with Josh Ling this past morning with Talk Media Network, which handles the program for the terrestrial radio, as we call it. And we had a call from a gentleman that catches us over there in the, the Delaware, the region there along the East Coast here a couple months ago. And I said, well, I don't know where he's listening. So Josh sent me the full list. Hey, we've got several affiliates that are going to be coming online here in the next week or so. Some of them just carrying a few hours each day. Some of them just carrying a few hours like on a Monday morning to close out the weekend and start the new week. We're going to have San Antonio, Texas, KLUP AM 930 on the AM dial. They'll be carrying Monday through Friday, 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. Central Time, starting here on October the 30th here. So here in just a couple of weeks, we've been... it's Monday mornings. That's where they carry several hours there at Provo, Salt Lake City. Kixer, KIXR, AM 1400. Another AM 1400, KVOE, out of Emporia, Kansas, carrying Monday through Friday, midnight to 3 a.m. Central Time. So good morning for those at 1400 AM, KVOE. And on the FM side, out of Emporia, Kansas, carrying the program. We're up and running there. WUSX-FM, Seaford, Delaware. That's the one that's the Delmarva Peninsula, right? Seaford, Delaware, carrying Monday through Friday, midnight to 5. The full program. They've been on board for a number of months now. Some smaller communities, but Eunice, Louisiana, carrying Monday through Friday for like an hour each morning, 3 to 4 a.m. Central Time. Coming up here in just a few days, Sandusky, Ohio, WMIC will be picking up the program Monday mornings. There's several others on the list here. Lancaster, Kentucky. Pending date to be determined, but that'll be coming up. They'll be carrying 3 a.m. till 6 a.m. That'd have to be Central Time. Okay, but yeah, so welcome aboard to the growing list of affiliates. Josh said there's a number of others he's working with right now. There's some things going on behind the scenes, so that's good news. Welcome in. Give us a call at 844-844-3388. First-time callers, hey, you get a $60 voucher for Hot Shot Secret Products. We'd like to introduce you to the product, let you try it out free of charge. So that'd be a great thing. What do you say, Pappy? Happy Friday.
What's up, Steve? Outstanding news. Hey, man.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Surprise, surprise, surprise. Hey, I had to call and talk about President's speech tonight. I will say this. I thought he got through the teleprompter okay. As far as the words he used, thought it was an okay speech. However, Steve, like I said in my little opening message to you, actions mean more than words, right?
Mm-hmm.
Easy to explain. You got the husband that keeps beating his wife, and she keeps letting him do it. And each time, sorry, hon, I love you. It'll never happen again.
Yep.
And that goes on and on. Steve, I'm going back about 6 or 7 years. What Biden's asking us to do is fork out another like $100 billion.
Correct.
It was about 6, 7 years ago. Husband and wife called. I get there. They wanted me, right? To get their daughter admitted or get her probated through the courts. I had to explain to them, well, I can't do that. You all are going to have to attempt to do that. And they went on to say that they're about to lose everything they got. Their car's been repossessed. They drained their retirement savings account. And we're about ready to lose their house because their 30-year-old daughter was a drug.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept given to her, even paid for a couple rehabs, which I totally understand. But the point here, Steve, was stop giving her money. You're going to ruin your life. I get it. It's your daughter, but here again, man, what this daughter has done to her parents. Is that what they're going to do to us, Steve? I mean, we know the financial crisis that we're in. I don't know how we can afford this without just printing more money, inflation going up. So, and I've said this before on your show, Steve, he needs to come out and explain to the American people why Ukraine is an existential threat to our national security. And I'm sorry. He didn't convince me. He'll get the money, though. August will just fork it over while we suffer. Listen, Steve, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm holding the mainstream media directly responsible, purposely contributing to these attacks on our embassy in Lebanon.
And they have, they have yet to come back and they've yet to come back and apologize or correct themselves. I'm sorry, we had that wrong.
Steve, these are the people that want anybody disseminating disinformation to be banned from any social media outlet, right? And here they go and do this, which damn near lit the match over there. Steve, that whole entire region right now is just filled with flash powder, man. And it's just going to take one little spark. Remember that story a week ago? Dude in the government, FBI snatched him up. Was in cahoots with Iran. Remember that?
Yeah, and the story that just kind of really disappeared. That was a spy operation, intel working in the Pentagon.
Steve, it's worse than that. Kash Patel, saw an interview with him. He's actually writing a book. And I heard this from another source. Steve, they have infiltrated our government in the highest levels of our government, including our intel government. Is that why there was such an intel lapse with this deal on October 7th?
Good question.
Is that another contributing factor here? Steve, we also seen in the news here how they infiltrated our academia. Come on, man, Steve. Look, every college damn near in our country, these students are having mass demonstrations in support of Palestine. Heard a story where there was high schools in California that were having these demonstrations, and these students literally had to hide from the protesters because they thought they might string them up. Right here in the good old USA. And we've talked about our high-tech industries, sharing info to China. The Skokovo project, talked about that how many times in the past, dude. Clinton's just handing everything to China. Just absolutely crazy. But Steve, here's what's going to happen. It's no mistake about it. Israel is going to go in and try to clean house. They're going to try to eradicate these demons. How this will end, I guess time will tell. I don't know. Is it going to lead to a total Mideastern war?
Correct. I mean, and that's what they want. They want to incite the entire Arab world to rally around them against Israel.
Yeah. I don't know. Is this the big show? Is this it, Steve? Is this the final countdown? Is it going to go down? I guess we'll see. But no mistake about it, Steve. Israel has to. I mean, they can't just turn their head again like they have been doing in the past.
Well, they've been doing this, as I say, that's lather, rinse, repeat. Lather, rinse, repeat. The vicious cycle. You have these skirmishes. Yeah. None as deadly as this has been the deadliest ever. And caught them by surprise. But, they go in there, bomb the hell out of them. The international community starts sending money, rebuild. The Gaza was all, rebuild back up. And the demons strike again. All we do is just give them an opportunity to resupply.
Yeah. And Israel always capitulated, always attempted right? Tried to get along. Gave them Gaza. But we hear it straight out of their own mouths, Steve. That's why I say just listen to them. Just listen to what the people say. And it's death to Israel and death to America. I mean, Steve, to keep bringing this Bosnian Russia school takeover up. You know, but, man, I'm telling you, I'm really fearing what's coming here. They take, schools over in Russia, Steve, they go through elementary, junior high, high school, all in one school.
Mm-hmm.
They don't separate the schools like we do. So on opening day of school, first day of school, 50 terrorists came in some vans and raided and took over the school. Some of your listeners that are old enough remember this. It was all over the news.
I recall it very well. And Russia didn't kind of, what do you say, pussyfoot around. They went in there. And, I mean, there was additional lives lost, but they went in and they took them terrorists out.
Steve, it was kind of in a remote area of Russia. Really no police force, so to speak of. So they had to school for a couple of days. I don't know if you remember that shot on TV where the terrorist was standing on a pressure release switch. They had explosives rigged in the gymnasium in both basketball hoops. And so if somebody was to shoot the terrorist and he was to fall and let loose of that pressure release switch he was holding down with his foot,
kill the kids.
The bombs would go off. There was a farmer that heard what was going on who had a daughter in that school. And he showed up at the door, pounding on the door. Well, they opened the door and shot him right in the face. Pulled him inside and drug him through the hostages to let everybody see. One of the first things they did, Steve, they rounded up all the seniors, the males, anybody that could possibly provide resistance to them. They took them up on the 4th floor, shot and killed them all with belt-fed machine guns, and then threw their bodies out the window. See, this could happen here. And unfortunately, what happened is when the Russia Special Forces showed up, and to this day, they don't really know why the explosives went off, but they did. Then bombs went off in the gymnasium, killed several hundred children. There was a Russian Special Forces guy that saw this 12-year-old girl climb out of the window. Clothes were on fire. She was just in shock and out of it. And as the kids were bailing out of the window, Steve, the terrorists were shooting them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this girl stood up and started to climb back through the window. Special Forces was thinking in his head, well, maybe if I shoot her in the leg, she won't climb back in that window. Well, he made the decision not to shoot her. And she climbed back in that window where she perished. I hope this don't come here, Steve. I hope our government gets their head up out of their caboose. I hope anybody that has infiltrated our government, we wake up and get them out. if we don't change things around, that's what's coming to our country.
I mean, what do we do with actual leadership like Rashid Tlaib and Ilhan Omar and even AOC on the bandwagon?
Steve, they should be kicked out of Congress. I mean, how do you allow that? How do you allow a congresswoman in Congress spewing the stuff that was coming out of her mouth? Who was one of the other Congress women? Did you hear this? That Germany, all the other countries over there, Egypt, the Saudis were saying, "Hey, we don't want any Palestinian refugees. You ain't coming here," because they know what will happen.
Sure.
And Germany was saying, we don't want none of them here. And I don't know her name, daggone it. I should write this stuff down. Congresswoman in the House made statements that we should take these 2 million Palestinian refugees in the United States.
Bring the terrorist right into your country. Welcome them in.
Bring, like they haven't been coming in for the last 2.5 years. Well, let's just bring them all in. The mentality of these people, see, they're a direct threat to our security. They should be given the boot. They should be impeached, whatever. Get them out of there. We'll see. All right, my man. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
back
Pappy.
to work for the weekend.
There you go. I'm
Yes,
back
sir.
on the job. All right. Well, have a good weekend. Thanks for checking in. We'll actually be doing the princess's birthday dinner with me. Yeah, we'll be going out to dinner later on this evening. I think she opted for Texas Roadhouse. I believe that's it. Let me see. Yeah, so, I mean, we've got the mainstream media that has, they got it so wrong, and they have yet to come out and say, apologize. The agency France Presse, AFP news service, reports that the European intelligence source believes there were a maximum of maybe 50 people killed at that hospital, not 500, as Hamas had claimed. As Breitbart News had reported, that explosion at the hospital turned out to be caused by, as we know, an errant Palestinian rocket, not an Israeli airstrike. It hit the parking lot of the hospital, not the building itself, although there were casualties. Now, AFP reports via the Times of Israel the initial figure of 500 dead arrived at suspiciously quickly. It may have been off by a factor of 10. Senior European intelligence source tells AFP he believes a maximum of 50 were killed in the blast. IDF spokesperson Jonathan Conricus also disputed the Hamas-run ministry's figures, asking, well, where are all these bodies? AFP correspondents did see dozens of bodies at the scene, with medics and civilians removing bodies wrapped in white cloth, blankets, or plastic bags. Images of the hospital after the strike, published by the Satellite Monitoring Group, show the hospital buildings. The buildings of the hospital were pretty much intact, with some windows blown out. Ultimately, as we now know, the U.S. concluded that Israel was not responsible. U.S. intelligence, their assessments think there may have been one, maybe more than 100, 200. I mean, everything's a guessing game. But as Pappy clearly pointed out there, the mainstream media appears to be just difficult times, draws people to the news. The likes of CNN and MSNBC, Fox News, we're all pretty much tuning in on a daily basis to get what's happening now, what's going on. The crazy things. So they like to hype. Hey, blood, guts, and tears. Make the headlines. Headlines, of course, that were immediately picked up, blaming Israel, trusting information that had come from the Hamas-run Gaza Ministry of Health. CNN headline, hundreds killed in Israeli strike on hospital. Palestinian officials say. Reuters, hundreds killed in Israeli strike on hospital. Wall Street Journal, Israeli airstrike on Gaza hospital kills more than 500. New York Times, Israeli strike kills hundreds in hospital. All this from the Palestinians. Best case scenario is that these outlets assumed that the health ministry, which is run by the very same Hamas terrorists that just raped, kidnapped, and slaughtered Israeli civilians, would never dare lie to them. But, we know that's the case. Meanwhile, we saw the unrest nearly breaching Israeli embassies, United States embassies in parts of the Middle East. Tinderbox.
It's coming. Crisp fall mornings turn bitter cold. As you fire up your diesel, you can see your breath on the inside of the cab. Imagine looking deep into your engine. Freezing temperatures impact your diesel's fluids, especially fuel. On a 23-degree morning, the paraffin wax in your untreated fuel starts to morph from fluid to large crystals. These crystals clump together and form a gel. At minus 10 degrees, your fuel hits the point where it no longer pours like a liquid. It's so dense that the flow through the fuel filter will slow, causing hard starts or no starts. Get prepared now for the cold that is coming. Hot Shot Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel is a premium fuel additive that lowers your fuel's pour point to minus 65 degrees. If it's that cold out, you shouldn't be on the road. You ought to be at home in front of the fireplace. Hot Shot Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel Premium Fuel Additive. Available now online at HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret.
Powered by science.
Whether you're a diesel pickup performance enthusiast or just looking for a small upgrade, when selecting common rail fuel system components, look no further than Exergy Performance. At Exergy, you'll find injectors, pumps, and more, engineered like no others on the market using state-of-the-art equipment run by people that have been in the business for decades. Exergy is the home of the Sportsman line of injectors. These injectors are designed for use in pickup trucks with no other modifications and offer a 15 to 20 horsepower gain while being calibrated to tighter tolerances than factory stock injectors. With a product lineup of injectors from Sportsman to 700% over, pumps from Sportsman to 14 millimeters, and complete engine control systems, Exergy has you covered. So if you're in the market for common rail components at any power level, contact Exergy Performance or one of our many dealers listed on our website at exergyperformance.com.
Live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios, the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
USA News, I'm Dave Collins. Just minutes ago, President Biden spoke from the Oval Office. He said that Israel and Ukraine will continue to get support from America.
I'm going to send to Congress an urgent budget request to fund America's national security needs, to support our critical partners, including Israel and Ukraine. It's a smart investment that's going to pay dividends for American security for generations. Help us keep American troops out of harm's way. Help us build a world that is safer, more peaceful, more prosperous for our children and grandchildren.
A warning to Americans overseas from the State Department.
State Department spokesman Matt Miller says
the Department of State advises U.S. citizens overseas to exercise increased caution.
According to Miller, the advisory issued Thursday points to
the potential for terrorist attacks, demonstrations, or violent actions against U.S. citizens and interests.
This advisory comes in the midst of escalating tensions between Israel and the Palestinian militant group Hamas. I'm John Schaefer.
Several Republican lawmakers report receiving death threats after they voted against Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan for Speaker of the House. Representatives Drew Ferguson of Georgia, Marionette Miller Meeks of Iowa stated that they received threats following their withdrawal of support for Jordan during the second Speaker vote on Wednesday. This follows Jordan's second unsuccessful bid for the Speaker's gavel in as many days. Paulie from the Rocky movies has passed away.
Now you're a big shot fighter on the way up. You don't even throw a crumb to your friend Paulie.
Burt Young, known for playing Paulie in 6 Rocky films, has died at the age of 83. With over 160 film and television credits to his name, it was his role as Paulie in the 1976 original Rocky film that earned him an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor.
That's Corey Myers reporting. This is USA News.
Omaha Steaks is rewriting the book on burgers with an all-new handmade texture for the juiciest home-style burgers you've ever tasted. Their pure ground burgers are made from single cuts of real aged Omaha steaks. These are truly steaks on a bun. Filet mignon, ribeye, New York strip, sirloin, and even brisket burgers. Now is the time to experience the exclusive Burger Perfection Flight for just $79.99. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code TREAT at checkout to get an extra $20 off your order plus free shipping. You'll get 4 of each pure ground burger so you can sample all the steak on a bun greatness. These burgers are crafted for a juicier, more tender experience, making your mouth water with every single bite. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use promo code TREAT at checkout and get $20 off the Burger Perfection Flight and discover your new burger obsession. Minimum order may be required.
GOP Speaker designee Jim Jordan is throwing his support behind a plan to put caretaker Speaker Patrick McHenry in charge of the House until January. This is according to a person familiar with the matter, a plan that would reopen the House after a 2-week impasse. Attorney General Merrick Garland traveling to Florida earlier today, where he spoke to the nation's Jewish community and other faith leaders who may be fearing for their safety as the war between Israel and Hamas continues. He says he told U.S. attorneys' offices and the FBI to keep close contact with law enforcement on the local and state level.
Yesterday I will continue to meet with our U.S. attorneys and federal, state, and local law enforcement officials here in Florida.
Home sales fell to the lowest pace in 13 years. The National Association of Realtors said as high mortgage rates squeeze the market, the group's chief economist blamed the lack of inventory and high mortgage rates for hampering sales. Sidney Powell, a former Trump legal advisor, pleaded guilty to misdemeanor charges in exchange for a sentence that means no jail time, agreeing to testifying for the prosecution in the Georgia racketeering case against former President Donald Trump. The NCAA is investigating the number 2 Michigan Wolverines football program amid allegations of sign stealing. U of M and the Big Ten were both notified by the NCAA of the investigation, and the conference said it had notified the Wolverines' future opponents. Dave Collins, USA News.
Have you ever picked up a towel set because it felt really soft in the store, but then when you go to use it, it's not very absorbent? That's why MyPillow has developed the MyPillow towels. Towels that work. The 6-piece towel set includes 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. And right now you can receive a 6-piece set for only $39.98 with promo code USA. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener special, and enter promo code USA, or call 800-951-8175. That's MyPillow.com. Promo code USA.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
Stiction.
Found throughout the oil system, stiction is the sticky friction that negatively impacts your engine's ability to function at an optimal level. The molecular structure of oil is a hydrocarbon. The engine's extreme heat, tight tolerances, and high pressure cause the oil to break down and release hydrogen, leaving behind varnish, a carbon-based deposit. The varnish clings to the engine's moving parts, creating drag on the turbocharger, oil pump, and pistons. Symptoms of stiction include a rough idle and the loss of fuel economy and performance. Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator delivers a 98% clean rating in third-party scrub tests. Its synthetic cleaner plus nano lubricant contains no harmful solvents and is formulated to be left in the engine to safely dissolve stiction for thousands of miles. It works as you drive.
Stiction Eliminator is available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
right, back for another hour. Here we go again. Round 3, Friday, TGIF coming on here. Hope you've had a good week. I know we've got plenty of gun owners out there that listen to the program. Monkey Gouger had posted, I guess he got a special gift from his better half a few days ago. Gun safe. Heads up, more than 60,000 biometric portable gun safes are being recalled after a 12-year-old boy died from a firearm taken from one of the safes. Fortress Safe and the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission announced this past day that various models of biometric gun safes are being recalled due to a serious safety hazard and risk of death caused by a programming feature that can allow unauthorized access to the safes. The Consumer Product Safety Commission cites a recent lawsuit that alleged a 12-year-old boy died from a firearm that was obtained from one of the safes being recalled, and that at least 39 incidents have been reported by consumers of the safes being accessed using fingerprints that were not paired with the system. All right, looks like there's a number here. The products being recalled, which are listed on the CPSC press release, included biometric safes sold under the brand names Fortress, Legend Range and Field, Cabela's, and Gettysburg. Safes were sold at various retail outlets, including Bass Pro Shops, Dick's Sporting Goods, Lowe's, Home Improvement Centers, as well as online retailers eBay, Amazon. From January of 2019 to October of this year, they've got the model numbers for the safes being recalled. Owners are advised to cease using the biometric feature, remove the safe's batteries, and use only a key to lock and unlock the safe. You can contact Fortress Safe for instructions on how to disable the biometric feature and obtain a replacement safe at no extra cost. But 60,000 such safes being recalled. All right, now back to the phones we go. Carl is on board here on a Friday morning. Carl.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate you taking my call. Was listening to Pappy there, and he's really on point about everything there. And Rashid Tlaib, she was causing a riot, actually, at the Capitol building, in which 300 people got arrested. I don't know. I think they released them already, but they got arrested for disrupting the congressional proceedings at the Capitol. And it was due to Rashid Tlaib leading the protest. And she's been doing this every time because she's anti-Semitic. And she does not care about Israel, not one bit. She says that it's clearly Israel is in violation of everything, and the Palestinians are under the attack of Israel daily. Well, she doesn't understand, I don't guess, that Israel is the one being attacked here. And really, Joe Biden's speech tonight, I was thoroughly disgusted by it, because he's using the Israel attack here to ask for more money for Ukraine. And then he's asking for that to be 60 billion. 60 billion. And it's just absolutely, and 10 billion is supposed to go to Israel. Well, what do you think Israel's going to think when they see that figure? 60 more billion going to Ukraine, and they're going to get 10 billion. Well, and then 100 million is supposedly going to the Palestinians. And he's leaving it up to the UN to make sure that they get it over there for the hospital disaster. And even though he said that the hospital wasn't exploded by Israel, but he's still going to give them $100 million anyway. Well, I was just thoroughly disgusted by all of that. It's just absolutely nonsense. And I don't understand how we've got a president that can be so ignorant to do things like that. But we do, and we've got to deal with it until he's out of office. But this is getting to a point to where we're gonna be in big trouble. He has sent. We're already in trouble. We sent advisors over there to check out the scenery and all of that, and about for potential battle with Iran and this and that. And Iran is already sending up drones from Yemen and everywhere over there now into Iraq and different places out there in the ocean, and it's getting bad over there. And it's not a place to travel to.
Correct.
At this time.
No.
That's for sure. And then we've got people calling in here, like Sundance, and he's mentioning proudly, I might say, about 17 billion barrels of oil or something that we're supposedly producing more than we did under Trump. And well, I just got to say, I mean, if we are, where's it going? Where's all that oil going? And is it going back into our coffers where it needs to be going to, that Joe Biden has used up? He has literally used up all of our reserve oil for wartime emergency. He's cut it down to half. And really he's not filling it back up. And on top of that, if we're producing all of this oil, then why aren't we paying more than double for our oil, our gas at the pump? I mean, are we getting money for this oil that we're supposedly producing, or is this a Russian hoax deal like Hillary Clinton levied against Donald Trump there? You know, is it just some kind of a figure that they want to put out there that says, yeah, we're producing all of this oil, you know, and we're supposed to bite on that hook, line, and sinker, and just say, yeah, that's what we're doing. But we see the point here. It's really, we're either not producing the oil that they say they are, or there's some inefficiency in the money being used for this oil. Okay, where is it going? Who's got the oil? Just like Ukraine. Okay, where is the money? Where's the receipts for all of this money? I've been hearing reports that we've got weapons going everywhere, including into the hands of terrorists from Ukraine that we have sent to Ukraine. We've sent them money, and then that somehow is getting into the hands of terrorists. And I would like it to be investigated because of Joe Biden's boy, Hunter. They gave him a job for a gas company over there that he didn't have anything to do with. He didn't know anything about gas. He didn't have no knowledge of gas. Well, Joe Biden received benefits from that, and Hunter did too. And could it be possible that some of this money is getting back to Joe Biden and to Hunter Biden himself and to his brother and his family, and that he's asking for money, all of these billions of dollars that we're sending over to Ukraine? Could it somehow be funneled, a little bit of it being funneled back to Joe Biden, you know, for all of this? And we need to see the receipts. I mean, this is serious money. And we're going to have to, really, the Congress can, getting back to Rashid Tlaib, Congress can vote out a member of Congress for misconduct, but it's got to be a 2/3 vote. They have to bring it up, and they have to say, okay, this person is really causing a big problem here, and they're breaking laws of the United States. And so we need to take a vote on this member here to remove them from office. Well, that's in the Constitution. That's the only way it can be done. But it's a 2/3 vote. And so we can't even vote on a Speaker of the House. I'd like to know who they want to be Speaker of the House. That's what I would like to know.
That's the big question. That's the $1 million question. I mean, with the split amongst you got the ultra conservative, like what they call the MAGA GOP. Then you've got the more, I guess I'd call them the rhino in the GOP. It's almost like they're bickering with the Democrats, that they're divided amongst themselves. Is there anyone up there that they could all agree on?
Yeah, I would like to know. Let's take some names here. Who y'all want? You know, who do we need to be the Speaker of the House here? What do we want here? You know, because we've got to pick one, and we need to pick them fast, because there's an issue here with Israel that's way more serious than the Ukraine issue. All right? I just got to say, this issue with Ukraine, Russia is going to be there forever. It's a money pit. That's all it is. Joe Biden has turned it into a money pit, and it's going to be a money pit forever until we get another president in there that's going to say, okay, it's time this is over with. You know, we've got to get it done. You know, clean it up, and it's over. You know, and it all funnels around oil though too, because of the business with oil. Okay, we've got to be serious about that too. Are we really producing that much oil right now? I don't think so. I really don't. And if we are, then why are we not seeing the benefits of that?
Well, the answer to that is because you've got Saudi Arabia. That now that we're producing more, they're cutting production. It's a global commodity, so it's all based on global prices. Yeah, Saudi Arabia is pretty much dictating what happens with the prices. Yeah, they just extended. I think is it 3 million barrels per day cut till the end of the year. Anytime we have an impact on trying to bring prices down, which we do or could, they cut production to keep the prices elevated.
Yes, and Biden has been begging for oil too. On top of that, he's been going to Venezuela, begging them for oil. He's begging Saudi Arabia for oil, and we're supposed to be producing more. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand it. But I'll go ahead and get off here, and I just thought I'd bring that up.
Yeah.
But thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, if there was a time when we were like number 3 in line, it was Saudi Arabia number 1, then Russia, then the U.S., and we actually got to the number 1 spot. Yeah, we did drop back to number 2, but I believe Sundance was correct that we're producing more than anyone. But if when we were producing 10 million barrels per day, just to give a round figure, and Saudi Arabia was pumping their additional 3 million barrels today, that translates to the 13 million. So we're now at the 13 million barrels per day mark, but they've cut. Saudi cuts 3 million barrels per day, which negates our net gain of producing more oil. But the numbers from just last week, that according to the Energy Information Administration, the first week of October, the United States hit 13.2 million barrels per day. passing the previous record that was set back in 2020 by about 100,000 barrels. But again, Saudi Arabia, the Middle East, OPEC Plus, Russia, all those other global figures, being that it is a global commodity, they cut it because they want this $100 per barrel oil. Countries like Saudi Arabia, that 90% of their entire economy is based on oil prices. The last thing they want is oil prices going back to $40, $50 per barrel. That's why they're going to do everything in their power. They're still going to make more money producing millions of barrels less per day because the price, rather than being 30, 40, 50, is at 90 plus. And we'll be back in 2.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
Turbocharger spool time.
Turbochargers are designed to increase the efficiency and power of the diesel engine by forcing compressed air into the combustion chamber. Temperatures inside the turbo can reach upwards of 400 degrees. The oil meant to lubricate the bearings will burn, leaving behind a sticky residue called stiction. The turbo's ability to spool up quickly is hindered because the stiction-covered bearings can't spin properly. Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator cleans the stiction from turbo bearings, reducing spool time, and builds maximum boost sooner in the RPM range. Stiction Eliminator is a synthetic cleaner plus nano-lubricant that contains no harmful solvents and is formulated to be left in the engine to safely dissolve stiction for thousands of miles. It works as you drive.
Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator. Available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
Jeans aren't one size fits all. Your seats shouldn't be either. That's the idea behind Bostrom's Wide Ride. It's the future of seating comfort. The Wide Ride features a 23-inch wide seat cushion and backrest, flex mat cushion support system, full lever recline, and front and rear cushion tilt on Bostrom's premium suspension system, allowing you to find your perfect fit. Optional features include a seat heater and a new innovative smart seat memory. With the flip of a switch, your seat can be a help and not a hindrance, allowing you to get in and out of your cab with ease. The premium foam is what makes the Wide Ride seat the perfect fit. It's designed to work for drivers of all shapes and sizes, and each seat is custom built right here in the USA. It's the smart seat choice. Go to BostromSeating.com now and find ultimate comfort for the open road with the Wide Ride from Bostrom.
And now, back to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
Yeah, Carl mentioned places you probably don't want to travel to right now. There's a lot of them. Yeah, and several folks had shared with me at the State Department yesterday issuing what they're calling a worldwide caution travel advisory. And I quote, due to increased tensions in various locations around the world, the potential for terrorist attacks, demonstrations, or violent actions against U.S. citizens and interest. The State Department advises U.S. citizens overseas to exercise increased caution, urging Americans to stay alert in locations frequented by tourists. Enroll in the Smart Travel Enrollment Program to receive information and alerts and make it easier to locate you in an emergency overseas. Follow the Department of State via social media, Facebook and Twitter. That's X, right? Now here we are, nearly 2 weeks after the Hamas attack. Christopher Wray, FBI director, also warns there is a rising number of terrorist threats here in the United States. Why would that be? Wouldn't have anything to do with the fact that the damn border's still wide open, would it? In this heightened environment, there's no question we're seeing an increase in reported threats And we've got to be on the lookout, especially for lone actors who may take inspiration from recent events to commit violence of their own. Ray spoke at the International Association of Chiefs of Police conference last weekend. So I would encourage you to stay vigilant, because as the first line of defense protecting our communities, this speaking to the police, obviously, you're often the first one to see the signs that someone may be mobilizing to violence. I also ask you to continue sharing any intelligence or observations you may have. And on our end, we're committed to doing the same thing so that together we can safeguard our communities. That's just a beautiful talk there, Mr. Ferre and Mr. Ray, but share with us. Well, one of the first things I'd like to share is shut down the damn border. Stop the tourist visas for those that are still being allowed to come in from countries that hate the United States. That's insanity. All right, so what do we got? It's about a minute before news break, so hang in there. 5-7 on board. Kentucky Ken got you coming up here. Several others online here on a Friday morning. And it is 844-3388. Good opportunity to remind you about Staybill. It's that time of year, putting away the summertime lawn equipment, tractors, lawnmowers, weed eaters, gas-powered equipment. For over 60 years, Staybill has been the go-to additive when storing such equipment, as well as boats, collector cars, generators, anything that's going to be sitting around with gas in it for an extended period of time. Staybill Storage, as it's called, keeps that gas fresh for up to 2 years and combats corrosion issues in your fuel system at the same time. Quick tip. When you purchase your fuel, when you purchase your gas, whether you're going to buy a 2-gallon tank or a 5-gallon can, treat that gas with the Staybill when you purchase it. That way, when the summertime months progress, you may be topping off that tank here in the fall months as you prepare for the winter, and think treating the fuel now. If you've had that gas sitting in that can for 3-4 months through the summer already, it's already deteriorated quite a bit. Treat the gas when you purchase it, and then it's good for up to 2 years. All right, news break time.
USA News Update. The conflict between Israel and Hamas has claimed more American lives. The State Department said 32 Americans have been confirmed dead and another 11 are unaccounted for. It said U.S. officials are working to try and secure the release of hostages held by Hamas. A warning to Americans overseas from the State Department.
State Department spokesman Matt Miller says
the Department of State advises U.S. citizens overseas to exercise increased caution.
According to Miller, the advisory issued Thursday points to
the potential for terrorist attacks, demonstrations, or violent actions against U.S. citizens and interests.
I'm John Schaefer.
Several Republican lawmakers report receiving death threats after they voted against Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan for Speaker of the House. At least 4 were targeted. This follows Jordan's second unsuccessful bid for the Speaker's gavel in as many days. Dave Collins, USA News.
Attention small business owners. This could be the most important 10-minute call you will ever make. You could recover up to $26,000 per employee today. And all you have to do is make one short 10-minute call to take your business up a notch or bounce back from these difficult couple of years. Omega Accounting Solutions can help you recover any payroll tax overpayments you made during the pandemic. You may even be eligible to receive up to $26,000 per employee. All it takes is a quick, easy, free 10-minute ERC consultation to determine if you qualify. Omega is the small business champion with teams dedicated to maximizing tax credits. They know their stuff so well that CPAs and payroll companies even turn to Omega for ERC tax guidance. Call 800-300-9ERC. That's 800-300-9ERC. 1-800-300-9ERC. Or visit OmegaTaxCredit.com.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
Product claims without proof.
every trucker on the road has heard product claims about an additive that simply didn't match their experience. Proof is found from third-party testing by a recognized, credible source. That's proof. Hot Shot Secret's Stiction Eliminator will improve your performance and fuel economy. For proof, we engaged the Ohio State University Center of Automotive Research to conduct an EPA-certified fuel economy test with Stiction Eliminator on a FedEx truck, a 2006 P500 Freightliner with 247,000 miles. The test showed a 3.6% increase in highway driving fuel economy from Stiction Eliminator, an oil additive. The complete report from OSU is available for download at hotshotsecret.com. That's proof.
Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator, available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
For anything diesel, take it to Scheid Diesel. They provide a wide variety of services and diagnostics to determine what the problem is with the latest technology. From simple oil changes and preventative maintenance to fuel system diagnostics and repairs, engine rebuilds and cylinder head repairs, and rebuilds with our in-house machine shop. They also have on-site DPF cleaning for exhaust issues and DOT inspections. If your diesel is asking for some attention, Scheid Diesel has the specialist you need for anything diesel. Located in Terre Haute and Lafayette, Indiana, and Effingham, Illinois, Scheid Diesel has you covered.
Hey, don't forget, as a listener to this program, you get 10% off your entire order at hotshotsecret.com by using the coupon code Overnight Drive.
Attention all truckers, Dean Michael, the tax doctor here. I want to talk to you about those dreaded tax problems. I know you want to keep on trucking and not even think about them. Well, let's face it, they're not going away all on their own. You need professional help. I've been helping truckers put their tax problems in the rearview mirror for years. I can help you too. Call me for a free consultation at 888-632-4506 or go to mytaxhelpmd.com. It's like I always say, keep your eyes on the road, I'll keep mine on the IRS. 888-632-4506.
How do you sleep on the road? After downtime, do you wake up well-rested and invigorated or tired, achy, and sore? Well, if it's the latter, you're not sleeping on the Big Rig Mattress. The Big Rig Mattress is a hybrid with an individually pocketed spring core that's engineered to deliver the best restorative sleep for your time on the road. Many drivers have said they sleep better over the road on the Big Rig Mattress than they do at home. Learn more about the Big Rig Mattress at thebigrigmattress.com or call 877-736-4233. Most standard sizes ship within 72 business hours. The Big Rig Mattress, 100% made in the USA since 2009.
Because Channel 19's a little congested. Call Steve now at 844-844-3388. The Overnight Drive.
All right, back on a Friday. Hey there, 5-7.
Morning. Okay, just make a mention on the news, talked about death threats to our Congress, our House of Representatives. Number one, when we send our people to work, they have a right to go home and be with their families safe at the end of the day. But I posted something on your page a few days ago. I'll try to find it. It's a House of Representative talking and saying about the vote, Jim Jordan, whatever. And he's saying, but you see, you're looking at it wrong. You're looking at Democrats, and then you're looking at Republicans. But you're leaving out the other vote. And the interviewer goes, what other vote? He said K Street. These are the lobbyists from K Street. I guess they're all located down that road or whatever. And it's the money, the influence. And right now, obviously, this is people are willing to throw their careers on the line for that, Ukraine money. That money to be sent to Ukraine. And it really doesn't make sense. I mean, especially when you look at Europe. What did Poland do? We're not giving them any more. We're not giving Ukraine any more stuff. We're going to build our military and make sure if Russia comes to our door, they're going to get hurt. this same with Jim Jordan. I'm really disappointed with him, but what it comes down to it, and I think Matt Gaetz said it, Jim Jordan, and they're tearing these people apart and they're insulting them and whatever. I'm sorry. Keep up the fight. If it means no money, it means no money. I'm sorry. I mean, what does that mean? No money going to Ukraine or something? All they do, the government does, like it did the last time, is they shut down parks, an open park. And then that's when those World War II veterans showed up in a bus.
Mm-hmm.
You had some snot-nosed guard locking them out with those bicycle gates. And they kicked them gates down, and they went to see the memorial, because it might have been the only time in their life they'll be able to see it. So it's all about shutting down things that affect the American people. Nobody's going to list a dime in their paycheck down the road, and obviously nothing seems. They always have money for the things they shouldn't be spending on. But listen, I think having him sit there and explain why our votes don't matter is this stuff coming out of K Street, and that's where there's a problem. It needs fixed, because I imagine they're doing the influencing on the other side too, which the Democrats are fully enjoying that cash. Now, on this something that Pappy said, I absolutely support everything he said. Up until this point, he said for 2.5 years they've been infiltrating our government. I think they were infiltrating our government during Trump's administration. But it goes back, if you remember, under Barack Obama, you had the Muslim Brotherhood. It was right in the White House. So this influence and stuff it's going back. And, I've been saying in the past, China's going to make its move. We're getting close to the election. They're not going to wait until we get Trump in there, a strong man, to defend the country or defend Taiwan. But I'll tell you what, I was wrong. You know who was waiting? They were on Russia, China, and Iran were arming these terrorists, and they're the ones that's going to make the move while we got a weak presidency, while we're weak. And something that's going around right now in old Bridgegate's up there on the CNN and complaining about Donald Trump praising the Hamas, and he wasn't praising Hamas. He was absolutely telling the truth, because the Hamas leaders absolutely said we were pretending to govern Palestine, and we were pretending, basically giving the Israel and the so-called intelligence services for Israel and America believed they were pacified and they were doing right. At the same time, they were preparing for this war, this attack on Israel. So obviously, I do believe in their mindset. Is that the time to attack is, America is the weakest it could be. And you know what? Biden did a good speech. I enjoyed that speech. He said everything right. And then they hand over to the people sitting there, the Israelis sitting there. And you got to wonder, and they need the money, so they're going to keep their mouth shut. They need the help, so they're going to keep their mouth shut. But you had to know they were sitting there looking at this man thinking, well, for 2.5 years, you haven't enforced the oil embargo on Iran, and now they're flush with money. And the missiles coming over were paid for by you letting Iran make that money. So this is a whole lot bigger than we thought. And oh, by the way, after the speech, and they're on Air Force One, and it was creepy. You had two of his administration behind him. He's in like a running suit. And he's trying to talk. He was trying to answer reporters' questions. And it looked like they were looking at each other, wanting to pull the president out of there at the press pool. And he was just, he wasn't sharp there. and looked. He grabbed his forehead and looked down. Apparently, whatever drugs are used to spark him up and to be on the ball will
alert,
burn off.
briefly alert.
You've seen it, and other than that, man, you believe it's Friday, and I'm going to sit back, copy the mail, and enjoy the rest of the show and wait for my notification on Monday morning and welcome the new stations. And let this thing, one day I'll be calling the Steve Summers Overnight Drive, and it'll have to be 20 lines and it'll be busy signal.
Yeah, we could only hope that. Maybe. All right. Interesting here. Bill Haggerty, the senator from Tennessee, member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, former U.S. ambassador to Japan, this past day sponsored and introduced the Emergency Resupply for Iron Dome Act of 2023. The bill mandates redirecting U.S. foreign assistance from Hamas-controlled Gaza to resupply Israel's missile defense. My legislation requires the Biden administration to halt U.S. foreign assistance from going to Hamas terrorist-dominated areas and instead to redirect these resources to help Israel resupply their life-saving Iron Dome interceptors. All right, we know that the assault resulted in over 1,300 deaths on Israel, 32 Americans now. And with ongoing rocket attacks, the Iron Dome defense system saved many lives. There are co-sponsors of the bill spoke out in support of this. Marco Rubio said now more than ever the U.S. must stand in support of our greatest ally in the Middle East, Israel. Instead of providing assistance to Gaza, the Biden administration must ensure any taxpayer funds are used to support Israel's Iron Dome to defend its citizens and the savagery from the Iran-backed Hamas. John Barrasso of Wyoming says Israel is taking action right now to defend itself and its people. We cannot let them stand alone. The Iron Dome is the first line of defense for Israel. It is critical to replenish this vital missile defense system so it can remain effective and operational. Katie Britt of Alabama said the Iron Dome is of critical importance for Israel as it defends innocent citizens against the barbaric brutality of Hamas and lives with the reality of additional threats every day. The co-sponsors pretty much said the United States stands strongly with Israel, our great ally, friend, and partner. Cynthia Loomis of Wyoming. In the face of such unspeakable attacks, we have a moral obligation to ensure Israel, one of our strongest allies, has the ability to properly defend its people. Josh Hawley of Missouri, co-sponsor, says the Biden administration insists on sending foreign assistance to Gaza while Hamas steals it to fund weapons to kill Israelis and Americans. Congress must act to redirect these funds to Israel to help restock their critical missile defense systems. I have no idea how much U.S. assistance actually goes into what they call, quote, humanitarian aid to the likes of the Gaza, to Hamas. But I think Biden is talking, he wants to send another $100 million actually into Gaza. It's for humanitarian purposes. Yeah, all this does is really just give the Hamas, the terrorist, an opportunity to dig in further, build more tunnels, restock supplies of munitions and rockets coming from the likes of Iran and other terror sponsor nations. But all right, so up to speed here. Kentucky Ken, on the road. Where are we headed to for a Friday?
Oh, let's just go ahead and get down to Atlanta and get that over with. And that's where we're going next. Got that in Nashville. That's it. This tour will be complete. I return equipment Monday morning. And then that one gig that I thought I was going to go on later in the week, they did not get that contract. I was told today, so I guess I'll be doing freight. They're going to send me some more tour dates for later November, I think. But,
okay.
Yeah, on the downhill on this one, I think everybody's ready to get a little break from it. But it was a good show tonight, and it was packed, so everybody was happy, I guess, and got loaded up and rolling on. So, You ready for your weekend? I know you said you're taking Princess out for a little Longhorn Steakhouse. That'd be nice.
That's her pick. She said of all the, because we've done, there's a bunch of them, Texas Roadhouse and another something, and of course the Outback. She'd rather have, she said the Roadhouse is her pick.
Yeah, that's good. Got to take care of her, that's for sure.
Right.
I tell you what I love over on that east side of Cincinnati. I think they have the best margaritas I've ever had in my life. Is that, I don't know if you've ever done that El Coyote Tex-Mex.
I have not, no.
5 Mile. Oh, my gosh. If you know somebody that likes margaritas and Tex-Mex, I love that place. They're a little pricey, but all these restaurants are pricey now. That's one of my favorite restaurants over there. But, well, I hope everybody has a great weekend and keep the shining side up and roll on down the road. And we'll talk to you Sunday or Monday.
Safe travels rolling into hot Atlanta. I know you're going to be dealing with traffic there. That is for sure. 24 hours a day, right? It's like, where the hell are all these people going? All right, Friday morning, 844-844-3388.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
Diesel fuel cetane levels.
in many states, the cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts. Due to a cleaner burn, there are less hydrocarbons and particulate matter in your exhaust. This reduces the blockage of your diesel particulate filter. Using Diesel Extreme generates 83% less DPF regeneration. The 6-in-1 Diesel Extreme formula also includes the most concentrated detergent on the market, lubricity enhancer, water demulsifier, rust and corrosion inhibitors, and a fuel stabilizer.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, Fine Farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Jeans aren't one size fits all. Your seats shouldn't be either. That's the idea behind Bostrom's Wide Ride. It's the future of seating comfort. The Wide Ride features a 23-inch wide seat cushion and backrest, flex mat cushion support system, full lever recline, and front and rear cushion tilt on Bostrom's premium suspension system, allowing you to find your perfect fit. Optional features include a seat heater and a new innovative smart seat memory. With the flip of a switch, your seat can be a help and not a hindrance, allowing you to get in and out of your cab with ease. The premium foam is what makes the Wide Ride seat the perfect fit. It's designed to work for drivers of all shapes and sizes, and each seat is custom built right here in the USA. It's the smart seat choice. Go to BostromSeating.com now and find ultimate comfort for the open road with the Wide Ride from Bosch.
And now, back to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
All right, under our Dumbass of the Week nominees, I guess you'd have to say the headline from Brain Dead. You just can't get a clean getaway in Florida. You'll understand momentarily. An Ocala woman arrested after she was found driving a stolen sweeper truck. You know, nobody will ever notice, right? According to the Marion County Sheriff's Office, deputies said the truck had been stolen out of Sumter County. A law enforcement spotted the vehicle shortly after it driving through Ocala. While deputies tried to pull her over, the 23-year-old female Daisha Lee instead sped away. A chase that lasted several minutes. According to the affidavit, the probable cause affidavit shows the truck eventually stopped. She was taken into custody. Body camera footage was released by the police on Monday. She told deputies she didn't want to talk. She wanted a lawyer. Although she sporadically said, "You got me. You got me." Now facing charges of grand theft, displaying a weapon during commission of a felony, fleeing from law enforcement. $9,000 bond. You just can't get a clean getaway in Florida. All right. Good morning, Eagle in Texas, I believe.
Yeah, hello?
Hey, Eagle, what's going on? Happy Friday.
Yeah, no, I'm not in Texas, brother. I'm on the road. I told you I left Texas Monday. I'm on the road again, Steve. Unfortunately, Steve, I got to talk about this guy again, man. I'm so sick of this guy. It disgusts me. But I tell you what, like I told you last night, Steve, I know one person that wasn't on my television tonight, and you know who that is. He has absolutely nothing that he wants to say to me that I want to hear, brother. Joe Biden will never appear on my television set because the minute his face appears on my TV, I hit the off button. And so his lies come to an end right then and there. You see what I mean, Steve?
Right.
I hit the off switch, and I no longer see his ugly face or listen to his lies on my television if I got anything to say about it. Like I say, once again, he showed his stamina, Steve. He lasted 15 minutes. That's his normal standard for a press conference. He can't go no longer than that. He might fall asleep. He might fall asleep if he go any longer than 15 minutes. After that 15 minutes expired, you best believe he had to go take him a little nap after he walked off of that stage tonight after saying absolutely nothing. You know this $100 million, Steve, and this money that you told me last night, you left me in shock with the numbers that you had said. It's appalling, the numbers that this guy is throwing around. This guy's throwing money around like it's monopoly money, Steve, like it's play money. I've never seen a giveaway. I need to get in on this deal, Steve. How can we get in on the deal? When is the Biden sweepstakes coming to the Steve Summers show? When we gonna get a part of the deal, Steve?
Right.
Since Biden giving away all his money, listen, we need to give me some of it. What the hell? Let me get in on the deal. What I got to do to be a part of this deal? This